Hey, what is up, white people and a few minorities? Hey, y'all doing good? I am Gordon. I'm happy to be out here. Might as well get to know who is in here. How y'all doing? Look like a couple? Friends? Friends? Of course. All right. You said that quick. Why just friends? Just met through work. Is this some kind of HR situation? Should I tell somebody? Did he follow you here? You both agreed to be here. Good. All right. What kind of work do you guys do? Huh? Technical consulting. That's white as shit. All right. It's very vague. Technical consulting. What does that mean? Oh, you teach old people how to do shit. All right. This is Twitter. All right. Don't say anything racist. All right. What's going on here? How y'all doing? Are y'all together? Married. All right. I was about to say, what the fuck is up with y'all? This is the most sentimental crowd ever. We're friends. Oh, we're married. Oh, it's like it's a goddamn Disney movie. All right. How long y'all been married? 8 months. Say what? 2 weddings. What kind of rich baller shit are you trying to brag about? We've been married 8 months, but we got married every 4 months. We're trying to get married 3 times a year if possible. Hit all the seasons. Why the fuck did y'all have 2 weddings? Oh, a COVID wedding and then in Germany. At a castle. Damn, she bragging. At a castle. At a castle. A castle! Had a drawbridge and everything. It was beautiful. Y'all brown as hell. Y'all brown asses had a German wedding with a castle? No one, I'm the only one that finds that strange? All right, I'll go fuck myself. All right, just 2 brown people like, let's go to a castle in Germany and get married. You're from Germany? Gugentag or Volkswagen. Anybody know German in here? Oh, dang. Oh, there's a whole bunch of Germans in there. Yeah, watch how y'all raise your hands. They did that shit like, yeah. I'm single. Anybody else single? All right, y'all say, y'all reluctant like I'm trying to fuck y'all. Relax. I just got out of a 7-year relationship with a Dominican woman. Yeah, that's a nice way of... Did she stab you just now? Ooh. Dating a Dominican woman for 7 years is a nice way of saying I dated someone with a very big forehead for 7 years. Muy big cabeza. I made her feel cute about her forehead. I used to call it my backboard for kisses. I used to say that. I'm on Bumble, Tinder, and Hinge. Anybody else? 3 people. That's it? It's got 1 billion downloads. It's only me and 3 other people? Fuck y'all. All right. I like to tell white people this. White people, please tell your black and brown friends about Bumble, Tinder, and Hinge. Because I swear to God, I am the only nigga on these apps. I am swiping through white women like I'm walking through a blizzard, okay? I'm like, hello, is anyone brown out there? Shaniqua, yell out. I don't think I have any success on these dating apps because I don't take pictures the right way. I don't have a good profile picture. I don't do what all the other dudes do. Like white dudes, they figured it out. You know what white dudes do to get pussy online? They take a picture of themselves holding up a fish. Every white dude has a fish picture. They hold up a fish like, my name's Hank and this is a halibut. I do IT, but I'm also a hunter-gatherer, as you can see. You want to go get drinks? Are you ladies banging these fish dudes? Somebody said it, no. I met a dude with a salmon, he's an asshole. I will never see him again. Like men and women, we do dating apps totally differently from each other. Like, for example, like, ladies, do you even change the mile radius when you go on a dating app? Oh, well, yeah. One lady said, yeah. Ma'am, what do you put your mile radius up to? Like 5 miles. 5 miles. See that? All the men are laughing because, like, ladies are like, that's nice. 5 miles? Ooh, 5K. Every man's laughing because every man in this room has put it up to 1,000 miles. Every man's like, is there a pussy on the moon? I'll go to the moon. I'll get cleared by NASA. I'll bang in 0 gravity. My mom and my grandmother are really trying to help me get single. Not be single anymore. You know what they're doing? They're actually walking around with me. Like, we were walking around in the park. She saw this attractive girl. It's my grandmother. She's older. She doesn't understand. She sees the attractive girl. She says, Gordon, you should holler at her. Gordon, go over there, holler at her. And I go, no, Grandma. She goes, no, stop it. Don't be dumb. Go holler. She's attractive. I'm going to go, no, Grandma. That is catcalling. Women don't like catcalling nowadays. And my grandmother's reply was, bitches these days. I was like, what the fuck? And that's when I realized that's how my grandmother met my grandfather. Wasn't something cute. She was walking down the street. He was like, hey, where you going with that fat ass? To raise your family. All right. This man knows a fat ass when he sees one. Please put your hands together for Usama Siddiqui, everybody.
What's up? I fucking lost my voice last week. My voice was fucking gone. When you lose your voice, every female friend, so supportive, right? Are you okay? You need a lozenge, right? And every male friend is like, yo, you lost your voice because you were sucking mad dick. Dude, as straight dudes, we gotta update the gay jokes. The joke should be, yo, you were sucking mad dick, and it was helping you understand who you are. And we're here for you. I just think 2022, we gotta support our gay friends more, right? Take it a step further. 2022, if your boy comes out as gay, suck your boy off. Suck your boy off! Put the cum back in camaraderie. All right? Suck your boy off. Some of y'all are Spanish. Put the cum back in compadre, all right? Saquito. Are y'all boys? Prove it. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Come on. He was kind of being ironic, and he was like, finally. Unclenched jaw, it's time! Here's the, I grew up homophobic. I grew up Muslim. So when you're Muslim, when you're 4 years old, some old guy in a beard comes in and he's like, don't like gay people. And he like blows like anti-gay dust in your eyes. And then you're like, oh, it is pretty unnatural. All those dudes who teach homophobia in the church and the mosque, they're creepy guys. They're all creepy guys. They come in, they're like, hey, don't like gay people. Okay. The hand rub is the ultimate creepy guy move right here, right? If you ever see a guy doing this and there's no lotion, run. He's there to induce trauma. We all had homophobic dads. All of our dads are homophobic. Old black dudes homophobic, right? But they're funny because when they want to call someone gay, they'll say everything besides the word gay, right? So they'll be like, yo, your friend Jimmy a little loose in the shoes. right? All I'm saying is the boy plays tambourine. Sir, are you saying he's gay? I ain't saying shit. But the boy likes to slip and slide. I'm not hating. All our dads are homophobic. All our dads are. They all say it the same way, right? They're like, your friend's a little... Why is this the universal sign for gay? My dad was talking about your friend like this. I'm like, Dad, do you think that homosexuality is Parkinson's? Your friend, Michael J. Cox. I mean, dude, my Muslim leader's doing homophobic speeches every Friday, right? But they were doing it in like deep Arabic, okay? So it'd be like, I'm like, how are you gonna hate on gay people while sounding like you're sucking a dick, right? Right? You can't be homophobic and be like, don't tell my mom. And I love my dad, I love my mom, immigrant ass mom. Intense, right? White moms, I wish I had a white mom growing up. White mom chores were cute, right? Hunter, take out the trash. Right? And then Hunter's like, Mom, you're a bitch. Right? Hunter, please. Fine, whore, I'll do it. But know that you're a slut, Mom. White mom chores were cute. Immigrant mom chores were like, hey, go fix my business. I'm like, okay, I guess I'll put on my work diapers. You know what I'm saying? Immigrant moms never say I love you. One time I texted my mom, I love you. Her response, sounds good. You feel that, right? One time my brother texted her, I love you. She wrote back, LOL. Okay. It's a joke. Huh? Who has a mom that can aim the FaceTime correctly when they FaceTime? Zero, right? They got no idea what's going on. They have no concept. My mom's like, hello, plop, right? Right here. Hold on. Mom, it's FaceTime, not left tit time. Right? Having a full conversation with her fucking breast, right? And half of me is like disgusted, and half of me is like, yo, it's been a while. You know what I'm saying? Yo, Spring Break 91, you know what I'm saying? Like, listen, I'm just like, my mom an old school bitch, you know. Still beats me to this day, still beats me. Clap it up if your parents whooped your ass growing up. Yeah, okay. Minorities clapping, white people, you mean like timeouts? I mean, I was in my room a lot, does that count? Okay, your mom whooped your ass, but like my mom whooped my spirit. My mom whooped me every day. I was actually born white, like y'all. All this is just bruises. But yeah, every day. Here's the thing. My mom, you know, it was funny, because when she beat me, you know, she didn't know any English, right? One time she was trying to beat me, I got so mad, I was like, Mom, you cunt. Swear to God, she was like, don't tell me what I can't do. That's immigrant shit. My mom is crazy. She's crazy, though. All our moms who beat us were crazy, right? One time, I just left my socks on the floor. She was like, hey, Sama, don't leave your socks on the floor. I never should have had you. She went from 0 to abortion in 1 second. That's a cold woman. But do you care? Do you care your mom beat you? Like, do you give a fuck, really? Eh. My mom would whoop me and then feed me Indian food afterwards. Y'all know Indian food is so good, it kind of undoes child abuse, right? My mom would hit me, I'd be like, yo, fuck you, Mom. Have one bite of her chicken curry, be like, you know what, she never should have had me. I get it. That's why I feel bad for white people who got beat, because your cuisine also sucks. Right? Can you imagine getting hit by your dad and having green bean casserole? Like, one bite of green bean casserole, you're like, Dad, just molest me again. Right? Like, I love it. 90% of y'all laughing, 10% having flashbacks. I see how right now. It's a lot. I love my dad too. I don't hate my dad. My dad's beautiful, immigrant guy, you know, full of shit, right? How much money he didn't have in his pocket story when he came to this country. Bullshit, right? My Usama, when I come to this country, only $5 in the pocket. I'm like, how did you leave the airport? Right? Terminal B to Terminal E is a $10 cab ride, I thought. And next year, Usama, in my pocket, only 50 cents I had on. Next year, Usama, only a piece of paper that said 0. Then the bullshit continues, and I sell that piece of paper, and I start my own business. Full of shit. It's pure full of shit. And as the money gets smaller, the craziness of their school commute gets wild, right? One day, Usama, every day I run 18 miles to school. Every day I swim across a pond. 2 of my friends one time die in the pond. I pull out their car case, I bury it before school. I'm like, Grandma, is this true? She's like, he was homeschooled. Don't listen to him. He's a little, you know, like, he's a little light in the sandal, you know? I love my dad. He was a conservative guy, you know? If we're watching TV and there was a sex scene, he'd change the channel, right? Aladdin, Jasmine going in, he's like, oh, shit, fuck, you know? Beauty and the Beast coming in, oh, no, which I get, Beauty and the Beast, that's some weird shit, right? Because as a society, we were all like, yo, fucking our dog is wrong. And then Disney was like, what if he was wearing a tuxedo? Huh? Woof woof, huh? I'm just kidding, y'all are a great crowd. Last show I did was not good. It was all fucking Brits, all British people. Dude, what is it with us when we meet a British person? Why is it so hard for us not to mimic their accent? Right? Every time they're like, hello. And we're like, don't do it. Do not, hello. How are you? And no matter how nice they sound, we reply with Peaky Blinders on meth, right? They come in Downton Abbey. How you doing? We're like, how am I doing, innit? Doing all right, innit? All of our British accents are that guy with the lantern who's like, I'll take you across the river. That's all of our British accents. And it's offensive, bro. It's offensive, right? Because when he says hi to me and I go, hello, that's like if I said hi to him and he was like, ding, 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 ding. Right? But I'm allowed to do it because they pillaged us for 200 years, right? So I fucking get the accent, right? One British guy was like, yeah, so we're even, right? I'm like, even? Are you mento? Are you mento? Even. There was no Indian man in 1850 seeing his house burned down, being like, can't wait to say cheerio. You know? It is funny how we're allowed to shit in all the white subcultures in America, right? Like British, haha, right? Irish, fucking LOL. Right? Australians, we have no respect for Australians. One time an Australian guy said hi to me, I just replied, kangaroo. That's it. He was like, hi. I'm like, kangaroo, dude. It is so okay to make fun of Australians. Even he was like, yo, spot on. All right? And then there was a smaller Australian in his stomach who was like, yo, spot on. So you can do all the white accents, have a good time. Everyone do the white accents. Do Welsh. Do fucking, Northumbria with a fuck. Who gives a fuck? Can we do an Asian accent? Can he do Asian accent? Maybe once. Can the white guy do Asian accent? No. Not even. Don't even say the word Chinese, really, right? One time I had a coworker, bro. He was drinking some coffee that was too hot. So he was like, oh. He was fired the next day. The CEO was like, me so appalled, okay? We here at Best Buy do not love you long time. Get out of here! I might hate it. You listen, I don't think Americans are even good at accents. We're not even good. We'll take Denmark's, like Sweden, Norway. It's all like, oh yeah, of course, yeah. Amazing. It all becomes gay German somehow, right? Oh, so cool. Oh yeah. Oh shit. I do think brown people were coming up. You know, people do want to fuck us now. Everyone besides you, but around you, there's a lot of... I'm kidding. You're great. Here's the thing. I think the problem with brown sex symbols is that the names are too white sounding, right? Like Dev, Zane. Won't be any real progress until the hot white cheerleaders, like, you know who I want to fuck? Devaka Nakunakati. I just want to go behind the bleachers and suck off Bala Subramanian. That's progress. Now we're getting somewhere, right? You forget, we didn't have anybody growing up in Hollywood. Nobody. I remember 20 years ago, my friend was like, hey, who was your favorite Indian actor in Hollywood? I was like, Antonio Banderas. That's all we had. Y'all keep condoms in your wallet still? Yeah? No? Your voice does. For sure, dude. No. Here's the thing. I'm a condom and wallet guy. Listen, it's convenience. It's convenience, dude. My girl's like, no, it's creepy. And I'm like, where else you want us to put it? Wouldn't it be creepier if we were naked and you were like, where's your condom? And I was like, 1 second, okay? Ah! Creepier, right? Even creepier, no wrapper, just the condom comes out, right? There's new shit on the market, not just condoms now. There's a new male birth control pill coming out. You don't know about this? FDA approved. Wait, hold on. Clap it up if you're a dude and you're gonna take the male birth control pill. Okay. Like 2 fake male allies. These are the kind of guys who are like, babe, my favorite movie is Love Actually. No, I promise. I'll take the pill. I'll take the pill, okay? I am scared. I'm terrified. I've never heard a woman go, yeah, I changed birth controls and it was a smooth transition. Ever. It's always like, yeah, I was on Yaz and I switched to orthotricycline and now I have a unibrow. And then I switched to Nordet and I strangled my grandma. Okay. Mood swings. I'll do copper IUD. Put the copper IUD up my butt, whatever y'all do. Spin the fucker. This is a true story. I was with a girl once putting a condom on. She was like, don't worry, I have a copper IUD. I put it in 20 years ago. And I'm like, if I fucked you raw, the STD I'd get would be tetanus. 20-year-old copper IUD, bro, what does that even look like? You know when you have a handful of pennies, there's always that one green one? I mean, she has a Statue of Liberty in her pussy right now. This Mormon section needs to grow up. What? I think we got to change some of the terms too. Some of the sex terms got to change, right? Some dudes who are like, I got a raging boner. You ever hear that? I got a raging boner. It's like, dude, leave the room, right? Right? Dude sex terms are too aggressive, right? Female sex terms, way more cute, right? It's like, I'm wet, hee hee. Right? Right? It's cute. It's never like, yo, my pussy's on some hydraulics right now. Oh my God! It's like Hurricane Katrina down here, Jesus Christ. Somebody call FEMA. Dude sex terms are aggressive, right? Even jacking off is too intense. Can we get some softer jack-off terms? I want to be like, yo, I got home last night and just started watering my plants. And yeah, it was a good harvest, okay? You ever have a dude friend who's like, I don't jack off anymore, bro, I'm done. That was me. I'm like, I'm done. It's unhealthy. I'm done jacking off. 2 days, no jacking off. I was like, should I kill animals? Bro, 4 days, no jacking off. I was like, if I sneeze, I'm gonna come. And then some old lady's gonna hear me sneeze, be like, bless you. I'm gonna be like, you have no idea. What do y'all do more, Instagram or TikTok? Yeah? That old guy's like, LinkedIn. Fucking get a job, all right? Here's the thing, Instagram, TikTok, they're different apps, right? Instagram, the comments are more like, hey man, keep working hard, keep hustling, right? TikTok comments, bro, are like, yo, I'm 12 years old, and like, I wish you were dead. Why are kids so mean on that app? Worst comment I ever got, bro, I put a video of me doing stand-up. This kid just wrote, terrorist, but also annoying. Yo, that means the fact that I blow people up, that is not the worst thing about me, right? Bro, fuck this little white 12-year-old kid. Went to his profile, found a comedy video of his, and I wrote, school shooter, but also short. Yeah, good quick, dude. All right, listen, follow me at Usama Stands Up. Y'all be good.
Please put your hands together for my homie. Eagle win, everybody!
Nice. Packed out on a weekday. This is nice. I love stand-up. There's a little shit I don't like about stand-up. You know what I don't like? I don't like that people use it as a first date. Don't use my shit as a first date. It feels like a bitch move on the dude's part, you know? It's like you take a girl to a show where you can't talk for 2 hours, I make her laugh, and then you fuck? It's like, can I put a finger in? Like, I feel cheated, you know? I usually fuck with first dates. I was messing with one time. They were sitting in the front, and I asked the girl, I was like, yo, have you kissed him yet? And she said no, and for whatever reason, the crowd got, like, super hyped, right? Like on some, like, Jerry Springer shit. Like, she was like, no, and the crowd was like, kiss, kiss, kiss. And I ain't gonna lie, like, it hyped me up. Like, I was like, yeah, you hear him? Y'all gotta kiss. And then they did. Yeah. And then for the rest of the show, the dude was just looking at me like, say fuck, say fuck, say fuck. It's weird. Dudes use comedy shows like an aphrodisiac, for real. It's strange. It's predatory behavior, for real. Niggas be like, she ain't gonna let me hit till she giggle. Like, what? I see a lot of friend zone dudes at comedy shows. That's big, for real. Like, it'd be a pair sitting in the front, and I'll ask the girl, I'll be like, is that your boyfriend? And she's like, he's my friend. And then he's like, yeah, I'm her friend. Y'all think a dude could be friends with a girl for real? Or if a dude's friends with a girl, he's just trying to fuck? Look, divided the room immediately. I wouldn't say we're all trying to fuck. I'd say we all would. But there's a difference, you know what I mean? Like, I have a girl best friend. I've been best friends with her for over 15 years. That's my nigga. That's my bro. I don't even look at her like that. Yeah. Not once have I tried to fuck, miss. But... You know what I mean? Like, if we were hanging out and she was like, Eagle, I'll give you some head, but we can't be friends anymore. I'd be like, well, we had a good run. Every friendship has its day, right? What's this situation over here? This is your coworker. Oh, okay. You don't trust it? You guys trust it? This is your lady right here, bro? Yeah. How long y'all been together?
We've been married for like a little over a year.
Man. This lonely ass crowd. I'm in a weird place. I'm heartbroken right now, bro. You know when you heartbroken, you start hating on people's happiness? Like you see a couple kissing you, like I hope y'all both got mouth herpes. I'm fucking sad. I had to break up with this girl. I was super in love with her, but she was just too toxic, you know? Like she was always accusing me of cheating. And it's like I was, but be positive. That's a joke. That's a joke. A true joke. A very true joke. It's an old joke, though. You know what the update is? The update is I'm in a new relationship, and my girl is bi. Anybody in this room got a bisexual girlfriend? No? There's one dude right here in the corner. Bro, y'all have threesomes? No, you don't. No, you don't. Because that's not real, nigga. That is not what the fuck it is. We are believers, men. That's what we are. We are positive people, right? Right? Ladies, I don't know if y'all know that. We're the most positive people on earth, men. Every night we walk out, we're like, everything's going to happen. It's going to be great. And then nothing happens. We're like, tomorrow, another day. We fucking believe. We are positive fucking people. My girl is bi. She is gorgeous, highly attractive. Best looking person I've ever seen. And I'd like to think I'm attractive. In the first date, she was like, I'm bi. And I was like, we about to fuck the world. I was pointing at people in the restaurant, you gonna get it, you gonna get it, you gonna get it. And that's not the case. That's not what's happening at all. All having a bisexual girlfriend does, you just worry about double the people. For real. Because we're in an open relationship. I cannot do monogamy. And so we're non-monogamous. And she told me from jump, she was like, listen, I don't have to do monogamy, but just so you know, if we don't do monogamy, that means I'm also going to be fucking girls. And I ain't going to lie, at first I very much responded like a dude. Like I was like, I don't care, they don't got no real dick. Fuck them, you're just going to come back home to daddy. All right? I was feeling good. And then I fell in love with her, and I was like, why has this bitch got so many friends? Because women, y'all are different with y'all friends than us. Y'all hang out real weird. Y'all do suspect shit that we don't do. You know what I mean? You know you hang out different. Like, I was on FaceTime with my girl, and her friend ran through the background butt-ass naked. And I was like, ew! And she was like, what, babe? That's just how girls hang out. And I called my sisters. I was like, yo, is this true? They were like, sometimes you gotta see a titty. I was like, all right. Hey, I see the girls in the room. Saw your pussy last night, bitch. Y'all are enjoying the joke. I get it. Women are different, and that's fine. I have no problem with people being different. But ladies, you have to understand that's also bullshit, right? Because my girl's never gonna FaceTime me, and I'm playing 2K with my nigga, and his dick is out. Like, what, babe? How niggas hang out? Anybody here actually gay? Any gay dudes in the room? You lesbians? All right. Any gay dudes in the room? No? Just doing the numbers. Somebody in this room is lying right now. Somebody just pulled a dick out of their mouth like I would never. Come out whenever you want to come out, you know? One of my friends, he just came out, and I always knew he was gay when we were growing up, but I ain't say nothing because he could fight. I wanted to say something. He was just too gangster, you know what I mean? Like, all my friends were tough, but he was the toughest one. And it was weird because I tried to talk to them about it. Like, I'd be like, yo, you think Xavier? They'd be like, man, you gonna say something? I was like, nah, you're right. He's too gangster. It was weird because, you know, he was gangster and flamboyant, which is like a strange mix. You know what I mean? Like, he'd beat somebody up and then he'd be like, girl, let's go get some pussy. I'm like, I don't think that's what he wants. When he came out, I called him to check on him. I was like, hey, man, how you holding up? He's like, honestly, you guys are the best friends I could ask for. Yeah. He's like, you're showing me so much love and support. I can't wait for y'all to meet my boyfriend. I was like, that's beautiful. I was like, just so you know, I always knew you were gay. And he was like, what? And I was like, nothing, I'm so sorry. He's like, nah, you said you always knew I was gay. I was like, you were different. He's like, well, I wasn't gay. I was like, so what happened? He's like, I just met somebody and fell in love. I don't know. I've met a lot of amazing men in my life. You know what I mean? Like, never have I met someone so dope. Never have I been to the bar like, wait, you like the Knicks too? Oh! I just don't think that's how it works. I don't know. For real. Like, I don't like white protesters. I don't like them. I know, you're our ally, or whatever. I don't care. They're just too aggressive. Like, they confuse me. You know what I mean? Like, I start rooting for the wrong team by accident. You know what I mean? Like, they'll spit on the cop, and I'll be like, I'll lean in like, officer, I wouldn't take that. Like, I don't like liberal white people. Yeah, I figured that would silence the room. I don't. I like my wife's conservative. That's my shit. Like a nice red hat. You know what it is? Liberal white people are just as racist as conservative white people. The only difference is they play these like Jedi mind tricks on you where you can't call them out for it. Conservatives real easy to call out. You're like, hey man, that was kind of racist. They're like, no! You know who the fuck you are. All right. Liberals impossible to call out. You like, hey man, that was kind of racist. They're like, but your life matters. And you're like, and still hurt my feelings. And they're like my feet hurt from marching for you. I'm enjoying watching the black people laugh at this. While all the white people go, oh no. I've learned a lot from having gay friends. I really have. Like, for instance, I'm black. I know I look like a Hawaiian lesbian, but I'm black. Fuck you guys for laughing that hard at that. It was very much like a throwaway, but all right. I thought we were friends. All right. I am. I'm black. And when you black, sometimes white people say racist shit to you, and you call them out on it, and what's the go-to? They're like, buddy, I can't be racist. I've got black friends. Right? And you're like, fuck you. But now I've got gay friends, and touche, white people. It's a solid fucking argument, huh? Sorry for ever doubting you. The real reason. This is the real reason I don't like liberal white people. And this is going to be the hardest reason to say to your smiling white faces. Okay, here we go. I think liberal white people are the dumber whites. I'm not saying worse, okay? I'm not saying worse, okay? Conservative white people are definitely worse people, for sure. But just because you're a bad person doesn't mean you're dumb. They have their smart moments. They're kind of smart. Liberal white people, great human beings. Huge hearts. Huge. Huge hearts. Tiny brains. They just keep doing things they think are super progressive, but it really just sets everybody back like 50 years. Like, for instance, stop calling us people of color. You're just calling us colored again. You can't just add 2 words and make everything better. You can't be like, you're not a nigga, you're a person of nigga. how are you guys doing? You know what I was thinking about? That's fake. Like our response. You guys ever realize that we all just always say good when somebody asks how we doing? It's like an autopilot thing, right? You ever have somebody ask how you're doing, you give them the auto response, and then they ask again but care? You know what I mean? Like they're like, how you doing? You're like, I'm good, I'm chilling. No, how are you? And you like, I don't know, man. I've been going through. We're not ready. We're not ready to be cared about, nigga. It's a lot. I don't even know how to care. You know what I mean? My boy was depressed the other day, right? He posted about it on social media that he was depressed. And I hit him up. I was like, you know what? Fuck toxic masculinity. Women keep on saying we don't check on each other as men. I'm gonna fucking check on him. I'm gonna care about another man in my life. I'm gonna fucking care about his feelings. So I reached out and I was like, bro, you could vent to me. You could tell me everything. Here's the problem. Ladies, y'all didn't tell us what to do next. Because I hit the nigga up. I hit him up. I was like, yo, bro, I care about you. I don't want you to do nothing crazy, man. You can talk to me. And he opened up. He was vulnerable. And I was excited. I was like, oh, shit, it's working. And he was like, da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da, da-da-da, just pouring his heart out. And I was like, yo, that shit's crazy. Like, I fucked too much. I have fucked too much in my life. Seriously. I went to, this is fun. I can't wait to see how y'all respond to this. I went to SAA. Anybody ever been to SAA? You guys know what SAA is? It's Sex Addicts Anonymous. It's a real thing. Yeah, I went. Anybody in here ever been to AA? Somebody said yeah. I heard a yeah. Alcoholism is crazy. You've definitely been to AA, right? Okay. I didn't mean it like that. They're hyping it up. But you've been to AA, so you know in AA, what is it? It's a community, right? Yeah. I don't know if y'all know what this means, but it means that everybody in the group exchanges info to some extent and can lean on each other when things are tough. That's a phenomenal idea for AA. Not a great idea for Sex Addicts Anonymous. You know what I mean? Like, oh, Eagle, I'm just feeling so horny. Really, would you wear it? Like, it's just... I've been very militant on stage where I've made all the liberal white people feel bad. It's like a thing for me. I don't know why. When I get on stage, I just get real Malcolm X-y, for real. It's like, make them laugh and make them feel bad. That's shit. In my real life, I'm not militant at all, for real. I'm really not. You know what it is? I don't believe in talking to white people about real topics in real life. Like on stage, fuck yeah, because I can't talk back. But in my real life, no, because white people are extremists now. There's no more chill white people. You can't have a calm conversation with a white person. For real. Like, you'll be like, cops are killing us. And they'll fly on the floor. They'll be like, I can't believe it. You're like, nigga, get up. I don't care that much. Or you're like, cops are killing us. And they're like, good. And you're like, well, I didn't want that either. So I keep it light when I talk to white people. Keep it fun, you know? Here's a fun argument me and all my white friends have been having for years. All my white friends think Bob Dylan is the greatest lyricist of all time. Nothing in life infuriates me more. You could be like, Black Lives Don't Matter and Bob Dylan's great. And I'll be like, what was the second thing you said? It upsets me so much. Recently, I was arguing with one of my white friends. He's like, I'm going to just put you on to some Bob Dylan. And I was like, all right, bet, do it. He sucks. And I don't know if he sucks. I've never heard him before. All right? And I listened to him, and yeah, he's good. He's great. He's the best ever. Fuck you guys. I don't care. Can I read you my favorite Bob Dylan? Are you a Bob Dylan fan? Yeah. Oh, you're going to love this. Can I read you my favorite Bob Dylan lyrics? All right. I'm going to read this, and I'm going to fucking leave. All right, here we go. He said, no compass comes with this life, just eyes. So to map it out, you must look inside. Sure, books can guide you, but your heart defines. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, that's Jay-Z. Fuck Bob Dylan. You guys been great. My name's Eagle Witt. Thank you so much. Bye.
In the room, and everybody.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. The comment I get on TikTok the most is that I look like an unhealthy Pete Davidson. Every time it says unhealthy, they specify that. I'm like, just say Pete Davidson, you know? Like, it's not like he's the beacon of health and wellness, but I'll take it. Wherever I go, people ask me my pronouns, which is fair. I look like pronouns. I get it. It's okay. It's okay. And pronouns are very important, but they're not important to me personally. Like, the only time I care about pronouns is if I'm having sex with my girlfriend. I like it when she uses male pronouns on me, but that feels like a bit of an overshare for someone I just met at a baby shower. You know what I mean? I went to a baby shower the other day. I got sat next to this woman. She was like, "Hi, I'm Kelly, she, her." And I was like, "Oh, hey, Kelly, I'm Emma. I don't really care. I guess unless I'm having sex with my girlfriend, then I care." "Wait, where are you going, Kelly?" My friend was like, "What'd you say to my cousin, Emma?" I'm like, "She started it. She started it." My girlfriend is Puerto Rican. Any Puerto Ricans? Okay. Okay. All right. So I want to support that, right? So this is what I've been trying to do. I learned how to cook plantains. Yeah. I learned, I bought a giant Puerto Rican flag, and then whenever she comes over, I play Daddy Yankee. That's the big one, I play it. But this is the issue, she doesn't appreciate it. The other day she comes over, I'm playing Daddy Yankee, cooking plantains, waving a little Puerto Rican flag. I'm doing all these things at once, trying so hard. She walks in, looks at me, and goes, "Okay, Emma, first of all, I'm Mexican, okay?" Like, fucking white people. I don't know if any of you guys are in interracial relationships, but when she gets mad at me, she hides my sunscreen. I don't know what to do. I'm trapped in the house. Trapped in the house. She's tall, she's Mexican, very feminine. We kind of look like we're from the future. And I was having dental problems for 2 months. I have a fake tooth, and it had popped out. And before I got the implant, I was walking around missing a front tooth. So for those 2 months, it looked like the future did not go well for one of us. I was stumbling back like, blah, 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 blah. Don't buy Dogecoin, it's rough out there. My tooth, when it popped out, the timing was perfect, because people would ask me what happened, and I could just go, "Oh, it was the vaccine. Yeah, exactly." The needle hit my arm, and it just popped out. When my girlfriend and I go out to eat, and they clock us as gay and interracial, sometimes they get too supportive. I can see them just stressing, because they're like, "Shit, this Yelp review could take us down." We were at a place the other day, and we were there an hour early, and before I could say to the guy, like, "Hey, dude, we're an hour early, don't even worry about it," he just starts getting wound up. He's like, "Oh, yeah, woo, yes, this is so great, I love to see it, I do, yes, technically we're full, but, don't worry about it, we'll go find some straight white people, we'll kill them, get in here, yeah, come on, yeah." I quit smoking cigarettes a while ago, and you know what I realized? I wasn't addicted to the nicotine. I was addicted to the gossiping opportunity. I love taking a moment in my day to smoke a cigarette with someone else and then talk about other people. You're already doing a toxic thing, so it's more likely you'll have a toxic conversation. I didn't even have to like the person I was smoking with. I would have talked shit about other people. I probably would have smoked a cigarette with Sarah Palin. 2 puffs in, I would have been like, "Hillary is a bitch, you're right, yeah. She's a bitch, I can see it." The more unhealthy the activity, the quicker the friendship bond is formed too. Like, it's a sad truth of it. The quicker it'll go away, but the quicker it's formed, like cocaine. You'll go into the bathroom with a serial killer, like, "We gotta start a business. Yeah, me and you do. T-shirts, they're gonna be big." What is it about coke that makes people so entrepreneurial? What is it? Did you know they updated the terminology from ADD to ADHD? Yeah. Did you know that? You did, okay, because usually people in the community don't know, but it feels like people outside of the community did know that. Like, I had no idea they updated that terminology, and then my sister called and told me a couple weeks ago. She was like, "There's no more ADD, it's all ADHD." And I was like, how was I supposed to know that? And then she goes, "I don't know, Emma, pay attention." I was like, ooh, cold. Why would they change the name of something that represents a group of people that has a hard time following along? Why would they do that? I got all turbed up about it, like, I'm gonna get to the bottom of this. Went online, probably 2 minutes in, I was looking at a lasagna recipe, like, yeah. Huh. My sister was like, what'd you find? I'm like, you can put ricotta cheese. Ah! When I was diagnosed with ADD, they were diagnosing any kid with a behavioral problem as ADD. Like, there was this kid in my class, and at recess, he would hump trees. Hump trees, and based on that alone, the teachers were like, ADD. That's what that is, ADD. And I remember watching him hump a tree and being like, yeah, and something else, right? Let's dig a little deeper, you know. I have ADD. I can't concentrate. He's sexually attracted to foliage. I was in special ed, but my elementary school was so small, I was the only one in special ed. So they didn't call it special ed, they called it Emma's room. I was cocky about it too. I'm like, time to go to my room. I got to high school, they're like, Emma, you're gonna be put in something called special ed. And I was like, well, why is it named after Ed? Like, why does he get everything? Why isn't it just Ed's room? Like, what about that I'm in there now too? And they're like, stop right there, but we're just gonna tell you, you're going to the right place, okay? Like, you're meant to be here. Fine. It's nice you guys came to a comedy show. Whenever I get to pick the entertainment, I just want to watch Law & Order Special Victims Unit. I'm obsessed with that show, and I feel like the more conscious I get of how convoluted and screwed up the justice system is, the more I watch Law & Order Special Victims Unit to fantasize that it can be simple. Right and wrong. Dun dun. But I do think it's weird they call it Special Victims Unit, because aren't all victims special? Like, could you imagine being the victim of a stabbing and you go in to report it at Special Victims Unit and they're like, wrong unit. This is for special victims? It looks like you just got stabbed. And you're like, well, I was stabbed by my uncle. And they're like, all right, was it with his dick? No, down the hall. Get out of here, get out. No semen, no service. You're not getting in. Yeah, it's participation trophy culture. How weird is it the executive producer of that show is named Dick Wolf? Dick Wolf, that's insane! I think if a woman had the equivalent name, people would have noticed it a long time ago. And been like, we're getting trolled. Could you imagine if they were like, from executive producer, Vulva Fox? You'd be like, yeah, that feels weird. Feels weird. Okay, I can't look at you guys when I say this next thing. It's too much. Over the pandemic, I became one of those people who comments on porn videos. It's too much! Yeah. If you're ever wondering, who comments on these videos? I comments. Before my girlfriend knew I was in the porn commenting community, she was like, can you believe some people actually think real people comment on these videos? Obviously, it's all robots just trying to get people to go over to their page. And I was staring out the window of an Uber like, it's not all robots. Just a hunch. Maybe some people quit smoking and they're trying to meet like-minded individuals. We don't know. We don't know. I comment on the video if the title of the video doesn't match up with the content of the video. It's where I draw the line as a human being. I was watching one the other day. It was titled, Verbal Wife Gets Banged Out by Neighbor. But she said nothing, so I had to say something. You know what I mean? Not on my watch. Took it to the comments. I was like, hey guys, it's clickbait. Repeat clickbait. If you need a verbal woman, go over to Alabama Housewife on the next page. Boom. She's a star. I thought this was all for nothing, and then this guy commented on my comment. I was walking into therapy. Woo. Was it you? I was walking into therapy. I got this alert on my phone. Bing, bing. I check it. I'm like, I told my therapist right away. I was like, hold on, Kim. This is critical. He commented, he goes, thank you so much. It was my anniversary with my wife. I had 10 minutes to come and get ready for dinner, and if it wasn't for you, I would have wasted time on this video. But because of you, I went over to Alabama Housewife. I came quickly. You saved my anniversary. He said that. Thanks. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thanks. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Almost on cue, my therapist was like, Emma, do you ever do anything for other people? And I was like, you have no idea. Okay. I'm out here every day, commenting, patrolling, putting work into it. My mom gave me comedy advice the other day. She was like, you need to talk about something that's universal and relatable to everybody, something that transcends race and class and gender and will bring Americans together around a unifying topic. And I was like, sure, what do you think? And she goes, how about the fact that your father is an asshole? Something like that. Everybody knows an asshole. I've been dog sitting for my mom for the past 5 days, and I thought it would be fine, except I'm not allowed to have a dog in my building. So I made a fake service animal certificate. It's only 5 days. I thought, what could go wrong? The issue is the dog isn't trained, so a lot has gone wrong. A lot. I said it like a true non-dog owner, like, what could go wrong? Everything went wrong. Saying this dog is trained would be like someone on a dating app saying they live in a gated community, but they're in prison. It's like that much of a stretch. Like, big stretch. I made a fake certificate. I bought a printer and a laminator, and it just says service dog on it, okay? In case I run into my landlord. So I ran into him, and he was like, Emma, that better be a service dog. And as I'm taking out my certificate, the dog starts humping my leg. Like, aggressively humping my leg. And I was about to tell him the truth, but then I just doubled down and was like, and this is the service I need. How about that? How about mental health is complicated, okay? And if the dog's not humping my leg, my anxiety goes through the roof. This is what does it for me. I learned about it on TikTok, okay? Back off. Your psychiatrist doesn't prescribe dog humping, get a new one. Back in high school, I was very depressed. And I remember trying to talk to my mom about it, but she was so uptight. Like, I remember coming home one time and telling her, like, Mom, I can't take it anymore. I'm going to kill myself. And she went, not in the house. Not in the house. I have book club in the house. And then because I said that, I had to go to this inpatient rehab center. This is why, like, even in the darkest of times, if you look around, it can be pretty amusing. I had to go to this... That part wasn't a joke, you fucking monsters. I was like, even in the darkest of times, you know, look around, it can be amusing, and you're like... Oh, they're also a loser. It's all about perspective, you know. Okay. You have great teeth. Ever since I started having dental problems, I notice people's teeth, and it's a bad thing to compliment because it makes everyone self-conscious, but good job. So, even when you're, I don't remember what the fuck I was talking about. Even the darkest of times, looking around. Oh yeah. Yes, as I was saying. But I wasn't talking about ADD. Now you're just yelling out things I have. You're like, depression and anxiety, potentially bipolar, addiction. So, threatened to kill myself, even in the darkest of times, yada, yada, yada. I had to go to this inpatient rehab center. I'm in there for threatening to kill myself. I had a roommate there who was in there for threatening to kill somebody else. I was like, who is this lazy admissions person? Just seeing the two of us like, ooh, mutual interest, match them up. They'll be finishing each other's sentences. She had threatened to kill someone, and she had multiple personality disorder, which I wanted to be sensitive to, but I didn't know how. So every night I'd be like, good night, everybody. I don't know. One of you guys snores. I don't know. Which one of you? I miss 90s boy bands, even in sync. I miss them. Boy bands now are too perfect. Every member can sing. Every member can dance. They're all cute. I miss the 90s, where it was like one member could sing, one member could dance, one member was cute. And then there were the other two. Who were these other two? Wild cards. We didn't know what was going on. The ages now are all like 17. In the 90s, it was like 17, 18, 53, 12. And you're like, who's that 53-year-old with the kids? Girl groups never had that. Could you imagine if you were watching the Spice Girls? Like, what Spice Girl is that? Is that somebody's aunt or something? She's tracking her steps, I can tell. She's counting steps. She's counting her steps. Who is it? It's Old Spice. That's who it is. Old Spice. Old Spice. Every time my mom leaves me a voicemail, she identifies herself in the message. Every message starts like this. She goes, "It's your mother." Like I would ever get a message from my own mom and be like, "Who is this?" I had to ask her, like, "Mom, who do you think I'm talking to that would be calling me up? Like, hey, I was looking at pictures of you in the tub as a baby. Cute, call me back immediately. It's Rodrigo, your landlord. Rent the zoo. You and your dog are weird." All right, thanks a lot, guys. Have a great rest of the show.
Please put your hands together for the one, the only John Johnson, everybody!
Just in case you didn't know, I grew up in Louisiana. No. Anytime I tell people at a party or at a show that I grew up in Louisiana, they're like, "Oh my God, I love New Orleans." I'm like, yeah, that's not where I said. And they're not wrong. New Orleans is the best part. The problem is that there's a whole state around that city. You know what I mean? Like, New Orleans to Louisiana is like if you had the most beautiful blue eye, but your whole face was fucked up. Like, I'm embarrassed to admit it now, but when I was really little, I thought that black people could see the future. I did. I just thought we had powers like that. Because when I was little, you know, when you don't have the best money situation, you usually don't have the best living situation. So the neighborhood I was in, there'd be like a fight constantly every other night. Once in a while, there'd be a shooting. And before any of it ever went down, outside of the window in my home, I could hear somebody go, "I'm finna go to jail tonight." And then they would. And I was like, how did he know? That is incredible. When do my powers kick in? This is astounding. I've lived in New York now for like 6 years, about. And who here lives in New York? Okay, so, you know, whether you're here and you live here or you're just visiting, I think we can all agree that now New York is too dirty. Like, this is a level that's unprecedented. This is chaos now. This doesn't make any sense anymore. Like, and look, you're only here, you only live in New York for one of two reasons. Either you were born here and no other place compares, maybe you've tried to live somewhere else and it just doesn't mesh for you, or you moved here to be the best at something. You know, you have a dream, there's something that you want to do, but I still believe that all of us can be the best designer, the best actor, the best of anything without a rat being right there. Like, how is that part of the struggle? How does that help us in the grind? That doesn't do anything. It's just depressing. This is too much. We've made them too, we've actually ruined rats with how dirty we've made New York. We've made the rats too fat. You realize they're fat now, because what happened when the pandemic hit? What happened? We started outdoor dining, and people loved it. They're like, "Oh my God, it's so European. It's so chic. This is amazing." And then, you know, no one loved it more than the rats. Because the rats, now, you realize rats used to have to scrounge for their food, and now they're like, Frankie's closed at 11, and that's good Italian, so like, we might as well just wait for a little bit. They talk about food the way we talk about food now, because we've left so much food dropped in the street. I was walking down the street, and I stepped next to a rat. I didn't see it. We surprised each other, all right? I planted my foot next to the rat, and then when we saw each other, I'm not proud of my reaction, but like, I actually know I'll never be able to protect a woman by how I lifted my leg when I saw the rat, because it was just, the toe was too pointed. Like, what does this do? This doesn't get me further away. I'm just as far away with this as I am with this. But this felt more natural. Like if it was gonna bite anything, I wanted it to be ass. So I do this and I scream, right? And then the rat sees me and it tries to run and it genuinely can't. The rat got a running start and immediately was like, no, you're gonna have to kill me because I don't know what I just pulled messing with you. This is too much. We've made New York a little too hard now. Why this hard? Why does the setting have to be on extra hard? Because you can admit it. You can admit it to me. We're family. When you're walking down the street and you see a homeless person screaming at the top of their lungs, isn't it scary that when they're screaming, they're not wrong? That's pretty jarring, isn't it? I was walking down the street, homeless dude screaming at the top of his lungs, but he was like, the bank's rigged everything, and there's poison in some of the food. I'm like, he's making good points. Like, let's not discount what the man is saying. I've had my own little, like, awkward encounters with people and everything, you know. Like, I remember my freshman year of college, I really wanted to reinvent myself. Because in high school, I was just like this skinny, nerdy kid and like never really had a lot of confidence or anything. And I went to a school where no one knew me, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna be a new guy. I'm gonna be suave. And I remember I had classes with this one woman that was like beautiful. So I was like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna ask her out, right? That's what the old me would never do. I'd be too scared. And so I remember just on a random day after class, I started walking up to her. And I have nothing to go on, by the way. Like, we didn't meet at orientation. We just take 2 classes together where I sit behind her. So there's nothing to start with. I can't just walk up like, I've been watching you. And I like what I see. So then I'm just like, even as I'm walking up to her, I'm like, what am I doing? And I remember I tapped her on the shoulder and she turned around and I went to just start speaking. I just like, it starts coming out. I was like, hey, my name is John. And as I go to speak, I can feel a yawn coming. And that's not good. Like, you're not gonna entice anyone to have a good time with you when you open with a yawn. And so I'm just shoving it down. I'm like clenching and I'm shoving the yawn down as hard as I can. I'm pushing it down and I actually beat the yawn, which is an incredible feeling. When you beat a sneeze, a cough, a yawn, when you need to in a social situation, you feel like a god. I was talking shit to my own body. I was like, yeah, that's right, breathing ass bitch. You breathe when I tell you to breathe, old sucking air ass punk. Look at you trying to breathe looking stupid. And so I beat the yawn and I just start talking. I'm like, hey, we have a couple classes together and I don't know what your situation is, but if you would like to do something this week, I'd love to take you out on set. And as I go to say Saturday, I can feel the yawn coming back. But this yawn is different. This is the one that opens your mouth for you. You know what I'm talking about? Those strong yawns that like unclench your jaw and everything. And so then I'm just like, if you would want to do something on the weekend, I'd love to take you out on Saturday. And now because I've tried to talk through the yawn, and I haven't done much talking, it sounds like how I talk sometimes. And so then also the yawn was so powerful. You ever get that tear that comes and you're like, I actually had the tear roll it. I was like, Saturday! And we stared at each other for a second and then I just walked away. I was like, there's no saving it. It's fine. It's okay. I remember when I was little, my mom worked at the library, and there was this after-school program she would do, and so she would just pick me up after school sometimes, and I would go with her. And so for the time that I was in that age group, that was just what I did. every day. And I met this kid, and he would always sit by himself, and then he was gone for quite a while. And when I started to see him again, I was like, I'll sit with him, because in my mind, I know what it's like to be weird. I know what it's like to be alone. I'm like an only child, and I've always been odd. And so, to me, no one should be alone unless they want to be. So I went to sit with him just to let him know if he wanted to talk to someone, I was here. He didn't have to talk to me, but he finally had an option, right? And sometimes something happens to a person where if they're over it, like they're genuinely over it, but you can't imagine yourself being over it, you can't imagine them being over it. Does that make sense what I'm saying? It's why, like, if I tell you my dad passed away, you're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Because you're imagining what it would be like if your dad passed away. You're putting yourself in my shoes. It's why if I tell you that my great-granddad passed away, you're like, oh, okay. I mean, that sounds like what's supposed to happen. So. Any other facts you want to tell me? And so I remember I started talking to him, because I was curious about him and everything, and the thing we were doing that day was we were putting together a bridge with popsicle sticks. And so we would glue the bridges together, and whoever had the strongest bridge at the end of the, day would win. Like, their little team would win. I was on a team with him. And I remember asking him, his name, asking him if we were in the same grade, because I thought that we were, and he's like, yeah, I'm in the 6th grade too. I was like, oh yeah, man. Me too, man. And we're putting the popsicles on. And I asked him, I was like, I thought you moved away or something, because I used to see you all the time, and then I didn't see you for a whole year. And without missing a beat, he just keeps putting the popsicles on the bridge, gluing them, doing his work. And he's like, nah, I didn't move away. I just got kidnapped. And I was like, what? He's like, oh, you didn't hear me? I got kidnapped. He's like, are you okay? And without missing a beat, he just goes, yeah, I'm back, so it's all good. It's like, if you're good, I'm good. Okay. That's the thing. Sometimes you're genuinely over something, sometimes you're not. Like, I think just as black guys, we gotta cry more. Just let it out sometimes, for real, because we don't. Always too tough at everything, and there's some things you can't out tough in life, and so when you finally break down and cry, we have no practice. So it's the most unrecognizable sound that could come out of a human. That's why nobody rushes to help us. It doesn't sound like crying when we do it. Because let's say something happens, something genuinely happens where no one would blame you for crying. Let's say your dad does pass away, and it's the saddest day of your life, and you don't know how you're going to move on. You don't know what you're going to do about it. But instead of just crying, when it's appropriate, when everyone would understand, when people would have your back, you just shove it down. You try to be strong. At the funeral, you're shaking hands, you shove it down, you're shaking hands, and you're shoving it down, you're pushing it, and then you're pushing it, and then years later, somebody just asks you how your day is. And you're like, people come running like, is that an alarm? What was that? Someone hurts you. Someone does something that genuinely hurts you in a big way. Maybe you have a breakup. Maybe you feel betrayed by a friend. Something happens. And instead of just opening up and having a cry about it, like, no, you're too tough. You just, you try to like work out through it. Try to fuck through it, whatever it is, just so you don't have to let it out and cry. And then one day, a puppy licks your hand. And you're like, no one even rushes to help you because they're like, so clearly he needs an exorcism because there's something in there. I've never heard that sound before. It's like there were a lot of peaceful protests in 2020, and there were a couple that weren't. I think enough time has passed that we can admit there's like, nah, they looted. That's just that Target didn't do anything. Nah, they want that stuff that was in there. That's all that happened. And this guy that I know, during one of the protests, like some loot broke out, and he looted. But I don't know if he panicked. I don't know what happened. But all he looted was a rabbit from a PetSmart. And it's like, what? You almost can't be mad at it. It's a little heartwarming. But then he managed to get a sick rabbit. So this rabbit, sick as hell, got all types of health problems. So he been in and out of the vet for the past 2 years. This man looted himself $7,000 into debt. Does anyone here believe in God? It is kind of weird that it's like a resounding no now. Like I'm always worried about when the masses have an opinion, and it's like clearly when everybody believed in God, things were not going well. Like they were not doing the right thing. But now I'm like, oof, everyone saying no also feels a little off. You know, because this is a big bet. Like if God's real, we're really laying out all the chips. This is funny. I was thinking. I've thought a lot about God in the last 3 years and everything. And okay, this is a long walk, but just roll with me for a second. All right. So, if there's a God, if there's a limitless being whose knowledge and power and understanding is bigger than anything that we could ever imagine, that we come from, that we're made in the image of, that the limitlessness doesn't just apply to time. It applies to like every describable metric. So, you know, God has no gender. God has no way of tying God down to earthly things or even in speech, right? And if this limitless being has seen the entire story, has seen everything, knows everything from beginning to end of how everything will go, everything that will happen, everything that has happened, everything that might happen, then maybe God in that limitless power chooses to tip scales at times and punish people for bad things or move lives in a specific way. And maybe, if you know the whole story, you don't have to think or act in a linear way. We behave linear because time is always moving forward, and it's all we know. So if someone does something bad to me, and then I take revenge on them, it all makes sense to the people you tell the story to because something happened and there was a reaction. But if you know the entire story, maybe it doesn't matter when the thing happens. You know? Maybe something bad happens to someone, but they're like an asshole anyway. So you're like, whenever it happened, it was worth happening. And maybe, like God knowing and understanding and seeing all of humanity and what the people would be like, all the people made in his image, all his children. I'm only using his because now I'm just talking about a specific like biblical understanding, right? Maybe in all of that, God saw all the people and he saw that some people would be terrible to other people that were his children, all made in his image, but some people would be terrible to other people because they were different. You know? And then in those differences, he looked at the whole of history and thought to himself, okay, I need to do something about this. But rather than working on a linear scale, rather than waiting for a thing to happen to react to a thing, for a thing to happen to react to a thing, maybe God was just like, I'll do it whenever. Maybe I'll go to the beginning. Maybe God saw that there were going to be gay people and how abused and mistreated they would be by other people that claim to be moving in his name, right? So maybe at the very beginning of time, God said, okay, if this is how humanity works, thinks, if this is how humanity will move, then I'll have to do something about it. And maybe God saw that it would be men, mostly men, who were the most violent, who were the most, combative against these people that were different. And so then at the beginning of time, God decided, fine, if you're going to be like this, I'm going to put the G spot in the ass. Like if you're gonna be a dick, you don't get the good stuff. I told you it was a walk. I love talking about this with people because, the whole joke is too long, but while I'm telling it, people are like, is this how a cult starts? You all are so amazing. Thank you so much for coming out. Welcome to the Josh Johnson Show. I'm Josh Johnson, joined by my co-host, fellow stand-up comedian Logan Nielsen. Logan, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right, man. How are you?
I am getting a call, so I'm not doing great. 1 second. 1 second. I'm here again. I'm back. Doing great. How are you?
Doing great. Everything's fine. I'm doing all right, man. I think we're about to get some nasty weather here in Iowa. Have you guys been getting hit with anything yet? Not to open with weather talk, but
I mean, it's only nasty if you're not freaky. You know what I mean? Like this is good.
Nope. I hate what you just said.
Nah, like this is just good weather for like if you cuddled up with somebody and like, oh no, we can't leave, maybe we should.
Only nasty if you're not freaky.
Yeah, like maybe we shouldn't leave. Maybe it's nice being warm together,
It's a real baby. It's cold outside situation.
Not really, because you live together in this scenario. This isn't a visitor. That it's cold outside.
Wait, sorry. Are you role playing as me talking to Jess right now?
No, I'm role playing as anybody talking to anybody that lives with anybody.
Okay, because for a second I thought it was.
No, that'd be weird. Be like, baby, don't go out and save lives tonight. Like that'd be wild. No. I'm.
They really need me at the hospital. Nah, girl, come on. The fire is warm. She's like, we don't have a fireplace. Where did you start a fire?
Hey, you know who needs reviving?
This dick.
Well, it takes all the mystery out of it when you say it.
I know. I regret saying it, but it was also funny to me. Well, hey, man.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Yeah.
Merry Christmas. Yeah, it's holiday season, and you want to do a little holiday mailbag?
We are. We're going to be doing a
little Santa
holiday
sack of emails?
Mailbag, a full-on Santa sack of emails. But also, can you do the thing that you've done before where, like, we'll take turns reading them? So just, like, shoot me anything that you want me to read.
I figure I can do that. Or since we're not, like, really doing video, I can probably just screen share the emails with you.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I think we might do it that way.
Yeah, so we wanted to give back in the form of giving you what you gave us. It's a real regifting of the holiday. You were kind enough to send things in, so we want to read them. We want to share our thoughts on the things that you think with us, with you.
Yeah. Now, when you put it that way, it does sound shitty because basically,
what do you mean?
The gift we're giving, is just announcing what people have given us, and we're like, "You're welcome. We gave it back."
No. But it's like, imagine if somebody gave you a gift and you could add to it. So if I gave you a car and then you got it detailed, it'd be an even better car.
But then saying it's a gift to you because I got my car detailed.
It is. You're giving me a car back? Thank you, brother.
Oh, see now that's what I'm saying, is you're saying.
Yeah.
That's where the communication wasn't lined up because I wasn't giving it back. I was sending you a picture of it detailed being like, Merry Christmas, buddy.
You would do that. That's exactly who you are as a person. So yeah, let's get into it. You know, if you want to take the first one.
Yeah, I'll take the first one. I'll go ahead and screen share with you right now so we can both see them as we go here.
Let's
maybe.
Let's get weird. Let's get freaky with it.
Let's get weird. Let's get freaky. Baby, it's cold outside. Which one do we want to start with here? You know, I'll start with this one because I've had a couple people mention this to me. But this is from Kiera, and the title is Subreddit for Tiny Town and Squirrels. Now, changing it to Tiny Town instead of Toontown kind of goes, and then Squirrels. So this is an abstract change to both of our nicknames from Toontown and Squeaks to Tiny Town and Squirrels, which I don't hate, actually.
Yeah, I mean, if you'll remember, it actually sounds like our Bizarro forms. Like, like it sounds like there's going to be like just a more extreme version of each of us running around that is Tiny Town and Squirrels. Like Squirrels like actually like needs to get LASIK. Like actually cannot really see. And then Tiny Town is got like a weird like bone fusion going on where his knees are just like real low to the ground. You know what I mean? Like he still
Right.
walks, but as far as a shin, his shin is the size of a hand. Like we're talking like knee feet, right?
That's like a Hank Hill's dad from King of the Hill, where he doesn't
really?
have. Yeah, his shins were blown off in Korea, so they just grafted his feet to his knees. So he just has
No, I'm not
straight,
talking about
short
that
legs.
though. No,
Right.
he still has a little bit of shin.
Oh, still a little bit of shin. Okay.
Yeah, but just enough to look cartoonish.
Squirrels, I was just thinking it's literally like just clothing filled with squirrels masquerading as a man. Just
And for the voice box, it's just screams. It's just like
they got a little keyboard in there, but there's too many little paws, so they're just typing nonsense. Just 7.
yeah, that makes sense to me. That's
We've
what it
really
feels like.
this year the listeners have really created. We've gone beyond the JJU, the Josh Johnson universe, and now we've established the Josh Johnson multiverse. Because now there's Toontowns and Squeaks, there's Tiny Town and Squirrels, there's the Punisher and Iceman, or Man with Ice Powers who hates puns. Like now there's a whole action figure line of the two of us.
There's a lot more going on. I'll admit. I think that some of it is good and some of it has been counterproductive. Like I think that there are some things within.
Some of it has been What has been counterproductive?
I don't know if the bathroom detective should actually like stay in the universe. I think that like I enjoy it and we're gonna put out that, you know, that trilogy, but I also think like, is this who I am when I listen back to it? Like
Well, I won't reveal too much, but I've been going through the tallies of people's favorite episodes, and I will say that character doesn't not make a showing. How about that? How about that for?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah. What we have become.
We have a lot of enablers out there.
Yeah. Incredible.
Anyway, sorry. Back to this email from Kiera. Subreddit for Tiny Town and Squirrels. Please, it's so late and like everything is fucking funny. So I typed the subject of the email and of course autocorrect fucked up my words, but made me laugh. So I'm gonna keep it there. So okay, so Tiny Town and Squirrels was actually autocorrect. Hey J-Lo, I recently made a subreddit for the Josh Johnson Show on Reddit. I got tired of having no one to discuss the show with without sounding not like myself. I mean, I said sorry about your brain king at a gathering, and the guys thought I was referring to an NFL game. So then they started asking me questions about football. All I wanted to do was drop a dope-ass line from the show, and it turned into me getting questioned about who plays for the insert any football name here, because most men are assholes who want to badger you for knowing anything. That does sound like us.
I mean, I'd like to dispute, but I have been around people my whole life.
That's the thing. I try my best to not be one of those people, but I know me trying to not be one of those people is because by default we are those people.
Yeah, I've tried really hard. I've definitely, you know what it's led me to though? Now I actually don't help people.
No, dude, that was when
it
mansplaining
really
was
become a
talked
thing.
about a lot. I got to a point where I was like, I'm not explaining anything to anyone, even if they really want my help.
Yeah, it's like it's really not worth it. So I'm just
It's not worth enough.
I mean, I'm sure that they'll figure it out.
Yeah. I tend to start with the question of just like, do you want me to tell you? I found just an easy way to avoid that.
As someone who had to leave someone who was stuck in a grate, I've stopped helping. Never want to be that guy.
Even the email says here, sorry, got sidetracked. Well, so did we. Back to Reddit. While I made the sub, I have no idea how to moderate a Reddit thread, nor do I want to. I think the J-Lo community, well, the J-Lo community, I think is something else.
Yeah, the J-Lo, what a mix-up that would be to
That
get
would
like
be-
on
oh,
a Jennifer
man.
Lopez subreddit and then be like, man, y'all ever get your brain injured?
I'm not saying I want people to do that, but I also want people to do that. I think the J-Lo community has enough common sense to make the subreddit a living hell since we're not talking about anything outside of the show, and the show itself is far from problematic. Thank you. That being said, I'm hoping this email will be read on the show for the very reason of bringing the J-Lo community together to laugh at episodes, make inside jokes, and whatever else Redditors do in subreddits. Yeah, I don't understand what people do in subreddits, but I've had a few people send me this saying
Yeah.
like, hey, do you know there's a Reddit for you guys?
Yeah. So I would say that maybe, we can give it a shot. I can't make any promises just because of time constraints, but I would definitely be interested in giving it a shot at like hitting up the Reddit every once in a while with a question or
Yeah,
know what I mean?
maybe.
Like just something. That being said, I feel like a lot of our movements are like a Reddit thread to begin with, so
Right. And that's what I'm saying. I don't even know if it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know if we'll get involved with it at all, but I wanted to give it a shout out if someone's trying to create a community for people to get together and talk about the show. I figured may as well shout it out.
Yeah.
They have a link here, reddit.com/The Josh Johnson Show. So I don't know. We're not in charge of it. We're not moderators, but I'm all about because we've had people email in trying to be like, hey, can you send me the email to this person that emailed in because they sound cool and I don't feel comfortable doing that. But
Yeah, that definitely sounds like a setup. That sounds like
it sounds like it could either go great and make best friends or could be a nightmare.
Yeah.
So this might be a good way for people to voluntarily meet up.
Yeah. Wow.
But that's all. Thanks for keeping me quietly giggling in public spaces and occasionally scaring my coworkers in office with my loud, sudden laughter. P.S. If you have a favorite subreddit or Reddit type interaction, would love to hear about it. For me, it's the relationship Reddit posts where someone is sharing a minor situation between them and a partner, and people instantly jump to, he is such an abusive piece of shit, you need to live him, over something like, my husband didn't eat all his dinner. I hope people do yoga for reaches that far. All right, bye. Sorry I talked way too much. But yeah, Josh Johnson Show subreddit. Best, Kiera. Thank you for that, Kiera.
Thank you so much, Kiera. That means a lot. We appreciate you. And thank you for, starting the subreddit. This could be the beginning of something really beautiful or really terrible.
Yeah, and again, we make no promises that we'll check it at all. But
yeah, I'm what if it really is like a hellscape? Like as soon as we log on and we get like, oh no, I think the Nazis got to it.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Yes,
A lot of frogs in here.
Kiera, be a moderator with an iron fist, I think is what we're trying to say here. Best of luck to you.
Right.
Do you ever get on Reddit at all? I've never really. I don't really understand it. Every time I click on something for Reddit, I'm immediately thrown off by just how it's structured.
Yeah, it's
the most old man.
The way
I feel.
that it used to be structured, I think there's been a slight change, but the way that was structured when we were in college was
Big yawn right in the middle of the words.
Was like really hard to read. I felt like the only people who enjoy that type of layout are people who can also code. Like,
yeah,
I just would, when I would see it in college, when I would even have a link of something that I clicked that took me to Reddit, I would immediately get upset. Like, I just hated looking at even the layout of it. And not that it's changed a lot, but maybe it's because the camera quality and all this other stuff has changed with the internet in general, that I feel less annoyed by the look of it.
Okay, that makes sense. You see an email here that you want to read?
Yeah, we have an email here that the subject line is Hurricane Sandy saved me from a dating app scam, which is already, thank you for this. Thank you so much for this gift.
That's quite the setup.
Okay. Right. Are you ready?
And we can say it's from Maggie. We can say
I was going to say that at the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
I usually say who they are at the time. Man, someday you'll understand how I do emails.
No, I understand how you do it. I just didn't know if I should do it the way you do it.
Yeah, I guess you don't have to, but go ahead.
So, are you ready? You all strapped in tight for what may very well be a true car accident of a story.
I don't know. I haven't read this one. This one did get selected purely because of the title.
Yeah, the fact that a hurricane saved you from anything means something bad was about to happen. All right. Hey, guys. I didn't find out about a secret family via a superstore, but I did catch a dating site scammer. I had just come back from being overseas for over a year. The guy I had been dating here and I weren't talking. Weren't taking off again, at least in my mind. So I thought, hey, I guess I could try one of these sites. I had exactly 4 responses before I ran screaming from it and have never ventured back. This might be long, but not as long and confusing as the toe fetish story, so hang in there. Anyway, the fact that there were 4 responses, that must have been 4 penises. It had to be. Like, it had to be just all penises. There's no way that you were like, hi, and someone was like, hi, and you were like, I'm out of here. Like,
well, it looks like all 4 are listed here. We got 4 numbers here.
Okay. Number 1, first guy, pictures of him in his military garb. I'm not a big fan of the military industrial complex, but thought, hey, let's chat. The story is that his family was killed in a car accident, blah, 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 which is already not
Maggie.
Great.
His family was killed in a car accident, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
That's such a grim response.
He was serving in Afghanistan. His story didn't ring true to me, and I left it alone. I'm not going to lie. You haven't given us enough information here for this person to outright look like a liar. Like, it sounds like 2 pretty bad things are happening to him.
Now, I will say, if that was literally he sent one message and he opened with that, even true or not true, you should avoid that guy because he's going through something and you don't need to get wrapped up in, his trauma.
Have you noticed that bots still don't? This is going to be the next level of bot, I can assure you, but somehow bots still don't trauma dump. Bots are still very much like, hello, hey, you're in my local area. Do you like to read? I also like reading.
Yes. Hello, sexy. What doing?
Yes, exactly. There's never a bot that's like, hey, how are you? Thanks for asking. I'm not great.
Yeah, hey, how are you? I'm trying out this dating thing. You know, I've just really had a rough year, and I'm trying to better myself.
Yeah.
Like that sounds like a man taking a swing.
That sounds like most people. Like,
Yeah.
imagine if a bot was like, oh, how are you? Nice to meet you. They're all dead. It's like, oh my God. Because you know bots wouldn't be good at it at first.
They're all dead.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I've got my eye on you bag. The blah blah blah. I mean, if I saw the message, then I'd probably I'm gonna say be on your side, because I'm sure that if you're telling me that two very plausible things happened to is lying, they must have told you an outlandish story.
That's like I'm hoping the message had a clear red flag to being a scam or a game, but
Yeah.
If not, blah blah blah. Goddamn.
Also, the fact that these are two things that do happen to people is like.
All right, let's move on. We got 3 more of these dudes.
I know, but wow. Second guy, another military one. Are you at a base? Like, did you set your parameters in the app for 2 miles? Okay, second guy, another military one. This guy is in Syria, which was kind of interesting because Syria hadn't gotten all public at the time. And I thought, hey, we chatted. That does say that. I'm not doing that. We chatted. His family was also killed in a car accident, possibly with the other guy's family. Not sure. I was skeptical because his writing didn't seem like what an English speaker would typically write. Certainly not an American English speaker. But then I thought, okay, our public school system sucks. So maybe, though he was a major or something. So again, I thought, we are still just texting via the app. So I ask him where he's from. He says L.A. So I say, L.A. is a big place. Whereabouts? He says Avalon. Well, I'm from California. And if I were from Catalina Island, I would brag about it. So I told him this and said, I thought he made that up. I asked him to give me more places he knew in the L.A. area. He sent back an alphabetized list of cities in the L.A. area. I'm really seeing where the blah, blah, blah came from now.
Yeah.
Even my LA friends wouldn't recite cities alphabetically. Only the Rain Man could do this. I said, goodbye, you liar.
Goodbye, you liar.
Can you imagine going to like an actual speed dating meetup, and when you sit down, the first person is like, hi, I'm Bob. My entire family was killed in a car accident, and I am in the 157th. And then you're like, oh, okay, that's a lot to hand someone immediately. And then you switch seats, and the next guy's like, hi, I'm Chad. My entire family was killed in a car accident.
And then you're like, name all the cities you know.
Yeah. Just be like, where in Boston are you from? And it's like, oh, well, here's an itemized list of everything I've ever bought in Boston.
Goodbye, you liar.
All right. Number 3. This is where Hurricane Sandy enters the picture. This guy.
God, I forgot.
Yeah.
It's been a journey so far.
This guy is an architect living in New York, but is from Spain. So had that accent thing going in his favor, though sadly not French.
I think that's just saying their favorite accent is French, but yeah, someone from Spain living in New York, bringing in French accent is kind of a wild move.
Oh, God. Okay. Sadly not French. Sandy is barreling down on New York, and I express my concern. He is fine. Power's still on. All is good. We talk multiple times over the days of Sandy. He tells me about his son and how they would like to visit me. Dad mentioned his wife died in a car accident.
This must be a common scam to lead with. fucking Batman backstory.
Okay. I say, well, where do you live in New York City? And he says, White Plains. I am clearly not a trusting soul because I'm asking him where exactly. He finally gives me an address and says he has a nice apartment downtown. He says at some point, well, now that you and I have met and you aren't going to use your membership to this shit dating site, can we give it to a friend for him to use? I say, not sure, as I'm Googling his apartment address, which is the White Plains Post Office. Okay. I tell him I doubt there are nice apartments in the post office. He says there are.
Well, you know what? Good recovery.
Yeah. If he had been smart, he would have said, oh, no, that's where I get my mail. But instead, he insisted he lived there.
Or at least say above. There's apartments like above you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that can happen, I think. But
and he circles back to the idea of me giving my account information to him for his friend. I say, sorry, see you, liar. Okay, number 4. As I am recovering from that, I notice someone has waved or winked at me on the app. I look, and it is my ex.
oh,
Now I am calling him my ex, but he didn't really know it yet. But he is on the app, too. Over and out. Membership canceled. Miss Maggie. You know what this whole thing feels like?
what was that?
When you really need a ride home, right? Mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
so you open Uber, and Uber is surging. It's like $50 for what you know is a $20 ride.
Oh, yeah.
Then you're like, okay, let me just check Lyft. But Lyft, you go to Lyft, and Lyft is $60. And so then you go back to Uber, and then Uber's like, well, we meet again.
Yeah.
It's $70 now.
And every driver that you get connected with in their bio, it just says, my family is dead.
And then you try to hail a cab, and the cabbie is like, hey, my meter broke, is $80. And then you're like, is there no way that I'm going to get home? And then you see your ex wave at you.
Parked across the street, winking.
Yeah. Wow. And then you're like, I don't think I'm ever going to get in a car again. I think I'm on my bike from here on out.
I think I'm done with cars. I think I'm out. Here's a short one. This is so remember I can't remember if it was last week or a couple weeks ago, but about the the manager at work named Richard Balls.
Yeah.
So we got another response from the same person. I think we left the name off last time because they were talking about being high and talking about their manager. This one just says, hey, just listen to the new episode where you talk about a person named Dick Balls. Well, I work at a hotel, and I had to check in a guest that was named Richard Balls. Richard shortens to Dick, so I had to hold back laughter while looking this man in the eyes and say, enjoy your stay, Mr. Balls. One of the funniest things in my entire life. Anyway, I'm quite stoned while writing this, but hope y'all have a good day. Which is very similar to the first email they sent. And that's why you can see here, I responded. I said, are you playing with us? Because the last Dick Balls email was from you. And then they sent back, this story is 100% serious, but I don't think I sent you the last Dick Balls story. But I'm pretty sure they did. Yeah, the other one. It's from the same email about Dick Balls. So here's what I'm enjoying about this scenario. One, just love to know there's several Mr. Balls out there. Also, this person has clearly gotten so incredibly high that maybe they forgot they've met their boss twice.
That's so funny. Yeah, I think that is what's happening.
Because both those emails are from the same person, and they're formatted like exactly the same way. They both end the exact same way.
That's so
and
funny.
that's why I responded, because I'm like, I don't want people emailing in thinking they can play with us. But like, and a part of it was also be like, you good? Did you? Is this a sorry about your brain king scenario?
That's so funny though. Like the fact that someone forgot is incredible.
That's great. Dude tells about a different dick ball. And even says, I just heard about you guys talking about it. Yeah. We were talking about your email. Speaking of weed, here's another short one. This is from Melissa, and I just like this one because it says, hey guys, y'all sure Josh doesn't smoke weed? Because he just asked, do you think teeth talk to each other? Before proceeding to describe a teeth house party where Logan's extra teeth are unwelcome guests. Anyway, keep up the excellent work. Cheers, Melissa. P.S. In the time it took me to type that, Josh has begun describing the absolute atrocity of Logan's long-lost dead twin he ate emerging from his fucked up teeth and saying, I'm here too. So I don't know, guys. I think he's almost high as I am.
Look,
Yeah. Now imagine what Josh would be like if he did get high. This is him sober.
yeah, this is all me. Yeah, I mean, like
That's
this is
all
like
me.
this is this is like, you know, like when someone's like, wow, are you on steroids? And it's like, nah, I'm all natty, baby. Like,
Yeah. No.
this is my
just
natural
genetic
brains.
insanity.
Okay.
You're welcome for my brain,
Yeah.
Kings.
I don't let nothing get in, right? Like nothing that's not already decided that is good stuff. None of that gets in there. I only let the good juices in. You know what I'm saying?
I feel that.
You know what I mean?
Do you see one here you want to read?
Okay, let's see. Oh, we haven't heard from Fat Rob in a while.
Here we go.
Okay, this is our old friend,
Yeah,
Fat Rob.
It's been a while.
Yeah. I had the privilege, nay, the honor, of visiting New York this week. I was honestly unsure how I would like it, but I absolutely fell in love with the energy of the city, the natural hum, truly like nothing I've ever experienced, the sheer magnitude of its breathtaking. I was there cooking at the Food and Wine Festival. Fortunately for me, I had plenty of time to do a little sightseeing. I'm a nervous flyer, but I had you guys in my ears the whole time, keeping me calm. I appreciate it, fellas. When I come back, definitely going to catch a show. Thanks again. Oh, thank you, Rob.
Yeah. I thought that was just a nice little email. Just like, hey, I went to New York. It was
Yeah,
nice.
That's cool.
And I'm going to counter that with an email here from Blobfish, who has emailed us before.
Okay.
And this one is titled "In Los Angeles for the First Time," and it starts with "Don't like it." This is a coast-to-coast review we're doing here. Live in Western Colorado, drove 8 hours to Vegas, spent the night, drove 5 hours to Angeles this morning, going to see La Brea Tar Pits, Moulin Rouge, pretty excited. What's up?
You have to say the don't like it. Pause for humor.
Pause for humor. I was just taking the pause, but yeah. I like birds. I like birds, so I'm happy to see all the different birds. Spotted a mitterd or mitred, M-I-T-R-E-D, mitred. I'm not sure how to pronounce parakeet, which is uncommon. Might have been a red masked parakeet, which is rare, and a vagrant species, so they came here by accident, adding on to it. I like a little bird fact in there. But the city itself, too cramped. I live in a small town by comparison, so I don't like how cramped everything is. LA's never really felt cramped to me. If anything, LA's a little too spread out for my liking. Things could be closer together. That's Logan editorializing. Everything is crushed together, and the people are weird. They are insane, just running across the street during a green with 2 bags of half-eaten cucumbers. I like that this is being clearly judging the whole city based on one guy carrying cucumbers. Whoa, what'd you do?
I dropped something. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
God. Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
That's okay. Also, why is everything so hilly? Well, okay, this is kind of a little nitpicky about geography here. Again, Colorado, surrounded by mountains. I live in a valley, but just it is a hill. The roads are the roads are also giant, bigger than Denver, and just so overdone in every day they can imagine. Phoenix and Las Vegas really rely on U-turns to get places. Los Angeles require a full 10-lane crossing. That crossing is underneath another 10-lane street. By the way, we Uber around. They know the city. This is how it is. It's insane. I was going to... Those complaints at the end there are just like, it's not the same as everywhere. Update. Saw Moulin Rouge. The audience was so rude. One lady was screaming, ow, and yes, woo, every time something remotely sexual happened in the most blood-curdling voice known to man. She did this the entire time. Really emotional moment, and the main character wipes his greasy hair. Woo! Thank you for that Los Angeles review.
Look. What you need to understand, thank you for writing in, but what you need to understand is that's just somebody who's very lonely, all right? Who's truly in need of a touch.
Yes.
Because no one woos. Like,
this is sex for her.
This is very close to all the sex. Like, it's...
Seeing Moulin Rouge, yeah.
The idea that, like, even one of the dancers maybe just wiped his brow and like, ow!
Yes, sweat.
It really is like, that's so funny that, okay. I feel like we finally found one of the attributes of like a perverted auntie, because we all know like a perverted uncle. Perverted uncles are out here making those like low noises, like,
That sounded like Sling Blade.
Yeah, just a little bit of growl and everything they say is like, oh, as you do it later. Like, yeah, just something that's really uncomfortable. And those aunties are out here also. Those aunties are out here.
Oh, for
ow,
sure.
Ow!
Yeah. They are just happy to lay their eyes on a man.
Wow. You know those people who actually be reading the romance novel outside, like.
Yeah.
I mean, there was one time
reading their smut on the bus.
There was one time that I was on the bus in Chicago, and this woman this middle-aged woman was reading a romance novel, and I'm not even kidding. She was reading, and like nobody else was there. She touched her chest, like. Like she had the book out here, right?
Yeah.
But then she went, whew. like she rubbed the middle of her chest like she had Vicks Vapor Rub on it.
Oh, I love that.
And it's just, and then you see the cover, and the cover first of all, he couldn't be on more steroids, and I don't know what book this is. I'd have to find it because it's so funny. It's like basically he is, at least from the angle, because she had it down a little bit because she was reading it.
Oh, did it have like kind of a Fabio cover?
It had
kind
like
of
a
thing?
Fabio cover, but
okay.
The woman the woman is on the horse. This is like such a funny thing. The woman is on the horse, but the man, instead of riding the horse or her grabbing him and he's riding or whatever, he's like under the horse. So I couldn't tell if he was supposed to be lifting the horse or if he was getting trampled by the horse. Because I couldn't see the cover well because it was tilted down.
My husband was trampled by a horse, blah, blah, blah.
My husband was trampled by a horse, blah, blah, blah. Ow! Ow, ow!
Woo! Yeah. Squish him with them hooves. Ow!
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
Well, I think you had fun in Los Angeles. But also, sorry, I genuinely snorted there.
Oh man. Okay. All right. So can you choose the one? It's fourth from the bottom. I fucked up.
I fucked up. There you go.
Okay. You already know the subject. I fucked up. Dear Toontown Squeaks, I've been listening to the show since the beginning and have always thought about sending in an email, but never knew what to say until now.
That sounds so so ominous.
I am a high school teacher and often listen to music or podcasts while I'm grading assignments. Well, I was listening to the Balls episode with headphones on. I'm not an animal. While grading tests in my classroom, when Josh said, "Sorry for your ball king," I completely lost it, and the few students I had in my classroom really wanted to know what I was laughing about. Since I would like to keep my job, I could not tell them the whole story, but I panicked and just simply said, "Something funny happened on the podcast I'm listening to." It didn't dawn on me until later that most of my students only know about the serial killer podcast that I listen to, as we use those as sources during our serial killer unit in psychology class. I now have a bunch of students who believe I was laughing to myself while listening to a podcast about actual murders. If kids weren't intimidated by me before, they certainly are now. Anyways, keep doing what you're doing. I'm a huge fan of the podcast, even though I may never listen to it at school again. I love all the Wild Josh stories, and Logan's laugh never fails to make me laugh as well. Best. And then, P.S., y'all definitely have a bromance going on. Don't lie to yourselves like that.
I try to tell him all the time. He just won't believe me.
Well, you know what? Thanks for writing in. Thanks so much.
That's
for listening
from
to the
Mia
show.
or Maya. It's MIA. I know it can be pronounced either way.
And we appreciate you.
Yeah. That's a new one, though, that like the laughing at work club, but thinking you're just a psychopath, like a genuine.
Yeah.
Like everyone gets crazy looks when they laugh at work, but everyone's looking at you being like, oh, man, the last podcast we knew they were listening to was like about Dahmer.
Yeah.
And they're over there cackling away.
And I don't know what's hilarious about Dahmer.
Oh, I like this one here. This is from, I believe it's from Malia, and the title is "Here's an Episode Idea." Hello, Josh and Logan. Josh, I commented on the Instagram where you wanted us to roast you, and I said you look like the brown M&M. I have found some things from my childhood in Texas that I think you might like. Beware, these annoyingly catchy jingles will be stuck in your DNA for the rest of your life. I'll read the rest of the email and then we'll get to that thing. Anyhow, love the show. My favorite episodes are Say Something Dummy and the episode about the creamer. I'm also an avid creamer drinker, but I water it down with milk. That's
the
most insane shit I have ever heard.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Watering down. I watered down the dairy with some dairy.
You can't have it pure. You got to cut it.
You do?
Huh?
You drink it pure?
I wouldn't necessarily drink it. We don't know what that was. All right?
Yeah, we do.
No,
you don't get to try to retcon the show like you didn't.
Remember that. Remember that, though. We never fully figured out. We never fully figured out what exactly
Yes, you did.
it
Your
was.
roommate came in and said you guys are drinking creamer.
You just go take her word for it. You weren't even there when she
You
said.
took her word for it.
Look.
You told me.
Look. Jury is still out, okay?
Shut up. You're a fool. Shut up.
No, you're a fool.
You're a fucking fool.
You
Shut up.
are a fool,
Shut up.
and you
Shut up,
always
fool.
have been.
Shut up,
all
you
right?
fool.
You will be.
Anyhow,
a
hope you
fool
enjoy.
until
Shut
your
up, fool. Shut up, you
last
fool.
Day.
Fool! I am trying to read.
You are a
Shut the fuck up.
fool.
Shut up.
Fool.
Anyhow, hope you enjoy these jingles. Maybe you can react to them on the show or something like that. And I just like to go, bye! From Malia. I won't play all of them. I'm going to play one for you just because this takes me back to some stuff from like my childhood too. We didn't have this one. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it. I hope you will.
Okay, fool.
You're a fool.
You're a fool.
I was excited about this because it made me think about. I have a lot of like jingles, like local jingles stuck in my head. Do you have any of those?
Yeah.
Do you want to tell me any?
No, none of them are good. And if I say them out loud, I'll just be thinking about them all day.
Oh, come on now. Come on. I'll sing you a couple of mine if you sing me one of yours.
You know what? They don't give good internet, though, so I don't even want to promote them. Nobody should know about them. Nah, let me see a different one. Because the internet one is like
an actual like earworm.
Yeah, it's an actual earworm, but they're not a good company. They just paid someone to get themselves stuck in your head like a real parasite. Let me see. There's one that's. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
Oh, you're gonna look for it?
I'm gonna look for it because I want to make sure I'm doing it right, or else literally no one will. There's already probably only a few people from my hometown that listen to the show.
The ones I got in my head, I can sing for you right now without even needing reference because they are so ingrained in my head. There's Rochester Lapidary Jewelers. If you wanna look good, great styles and value, jewelries, gems, and stones. We got everything you need at the Rochester Lapidary Jewelers.
Okay, let's see.
That was a real jazzy one. Soulful even.
Okay. Yeah, I can't find it. So the only thing I can actually give you is this one guy. There's no real like jingle to it. There's just some really catchy music playing in the background, and and then he's like, it kind of sounds like that sort of Silk Sonic-y Bruno Mars type. So it's like, just imagine dum 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 dum.
Okay.
Dum 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 dum. And then he's like going with the beat, like dum 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 dum. And then he looks at the camera. He's like, "Have you been hurt?" And then they're still going. Dum 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 dum. He's like, "It wasn't your fault." Dum 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 dum.
So yours is kind of a slam poetry.
Yeah.
Ad, not so much a jingle, but
yeah, it was. I think he was trying to. It ended up being slam poetry because he couldn't sing and couldn't really stay with the beat. But it ended up being a little bit of an R&B attempt.
Okay, gotcha. We also had Universal Marine and RV was another one. And it was imagine yourself having fun and feeling free. Universal Marine and RV, and it was for boat. It was boat and camper rentals. But having fun and feeling free.
Wow.
Let's do this one here. Do you want to read this one, or do you want me to read it?
I might need you to read it just because it is so small on my computer. It's a little bit hard to read.
And you got shitty eyes? Because you won't get glasses because you're a fool?
No, you're a fool. All right? You are a foolish fool.
All right. This is from Daniel, and it is titled, "I accidentally competed in an Iron Man competition, plus stand-up advice."
So it really runs the full spectrum of like human interaction.
Yeah. Hey, Josh and Logan. I hope you all are doing well. My name is Daniel. You may remember me from my email entry in episode number 106, Gym Stepdad, where I told you all about my slightly humiliating experience puking at my local gym. Oh, I do remember that. I have another funny story of something that recently happened to me that I wanted to share with you. But first, I wanted to ask you for some advice regarding my new adventure in the world of stand-up comedy. I recently performed my first ever stand-up comedy set at a local club here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. It was a brief 5-minute set, and I not only had a great time, but I was given many compliments from some of the attendees that night. The organizer even caught me after the show and informed me that he could send me the dates and locations of some upcoming open mics if I was at all interested in potentially performing at them. I told him that I definitely was, and I'm currently waiting to hear back from him. All that being said, I wanted to ask you if you had any advice for me as a new comic. This is definitely just a small hobby for me, but I would love to continue to try my hand at it in the future if given the opportunity. Any advice on how you guys come up with material? How do you typically practice? Any and all help would be much appreciated. Maybe we'll give some advice first, and then we'll read the story here.
Yeah, I think that for the most part, just having fun is the best thing that you can do starting out. Like, I think that some people, it's exactly like going to the gym. I think some people like take it very seriously and get really into it and want to like get really far in their first like 2 visits, and then they end up burning out or like not getting the results they want in 2 weeks, and so it makes them want to give up. But if you're just like having fun and building community and meeting people that you think are funny and getting to watch people that you think are funny, and it's one of those things that gives you confidence and a source of joy, then I think sticking with it for now is the best thing you can be doing, because all those things that you could want will come later with more experience. So there's no real there's no real like long-term tip that I could give. I will say one piece of advice I give everybody if I don't see them do it is to, when you start, put the mic stand away from you. Like so many people starting out let the mic stand upstage them. Like they'll just take it they'll take the mic out of the stand and then leave it in front of them, blocking them on stage.
Yeah, and a lot of people do that when they start.
Yeah, and I think that's the only thing that I tell people who are like almost brand new. Other than that, though, I don't think that there's anything that you can do except continue to enjoy yourself and like enjoy writing, enjoy learning how to perform better.
Yeah, I mean, you've already done the hardest thing, which is start. Like that's what keeps a lot of people from doing it at all, is literally just signing up that first time. Because we both met a lot of people who are just like, oh, I want to do stand-up. And I always say, okay, go do it then. And then they don't, because that's the hard part. So you got that. And I'm glad it went well. One of your next times is not going to go well. Within like those first like 5 times you do it, one of them hurts very badly. Whether it's your first one or it's like your third one. So just know that's going to happen. It's nothing you did wrong. It's part of the journey. It's part of learning it. So if you still like it, just shake that off and move forward. And then I think just, for writing, like for me, when I started out, when I was brand new, I literally just had a little notebook with me and I made myself just write down 3 thoughts a day. Mm-hmm. Even if they weren't funny, even if they never became anything, I just made myself write them down, which just got me better at not only just creating a collection of stuff, but also made me better at being choosy about what I wanted to talk about by just the nature of constantly writing down ideas. Mm-hmm. So it's not even like generating good material, good stories. It was just like, oh, I have a fleeting thought that maybe is a bit. I'm just going to write it down, and then I just would make sure I'd write down 3 a day, and that's how I generate material. How did you do it in the beginning when you started out?
I really would just like go off of experiences that I had, or like I try to like flush out an idea. So what I did when I started out, which who knows if this was even a good idea, but I would have like one thing that I really wanted to talk about, and I try to pull as much as I could out of that one thing, and then one thing at a 5-minute mic became 2 things, became like writing just a straight up joke, became having a set, but like I really stuck to, here's the thing that I think is funny, whether it's a story or a concept, and I'm just going to mine it as much as possible every time. And then, through the process of like elimination and just through realizing what people laughed at and what was just filler, you cut it down from there.
Yeah. But congrats on starting out, and best of luck in your future sets. And now on to the story here. I also wanted to leave you with a funny story of something that recently happened to me. Over the weekend, there was an Ironman competition here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. On Sunday, I decided to go for a run in the afternoon, as I had been inside for most of the day and wanted to get out for a bit. After running for a little over a mile, my route took me by the main road where the Ironman competitors were running. Once I reached the road, I was at this point, once I reached the road, I was at the point running side by side with the competitors and was headed for the famous Walnut Street Bridge here in Chattanooga. Little did I know, the Ironman competitors were also headed for that same bridge. Once I reached the beginning of the bridge, I realized that I had accidentally found myself competing in the Ironman race alongside people who, at this point, had been running for 13 plus miles. I was committed to it at this point and couldn't turn back. So there I was, running alongside the racers on the bridge. The whole time I am running across the bridge, crowds of people are cheering me on and giving me words of encouragement as they assumed I was an Ironman competitor, even though I was in fact not a registered competitor in the race. However, once I reached the other side of the bridge, I realized there was a large crowd of around 100 to 200 people waiting for all of the runners to cross the bridge cross the bridge with signs and bullhorns. I had to make a decision in this moment. Do I run with all of the competitors through the crowd and act like I was an actual Ironman competitor? Or do I run off course and away from the race altogether? I was really starting to feel like the person in the group that didn't contribute to the group project but still got an A+ on the assignment. So I decided to run around the crowd and off the race route. It just didn't feel right for me to run through the large crowd of people at the end of the bridge. But who knows, maybe if I did, I would have received some kind of participation trophy. I definitely felt like I was being showered with undeserved praise at that moment. But hey, I will take what I can get, I suppose. Anyway, I hope you all are doing well and didn't mind my longer than necessary emails. I'm loving the podcast. Keep up the great work. Take care, Daniel. Daniel, I will say I would have ran straight into that crowd and soaked up that adoration. That's what I would have done.
Yeah, you would have been. It would have been so funny if you had run through and then you were really like talking shit as you cross, like, oh, you look.
You guys are winded. I'm still feeling great.
Dude, y'all look a little dehydrated, if you ask me.
I was hoping I knew it wasn't going to lead to this because it's too cartoony, but the idea of accidentally competing in an Ironman competition, I met up with them at the bridge, and then suddenly here I am on a bike.
Yeah, because this is the thing. If you're not supposed to be in it at all, because I told you about we did an episode about the marathon stolen valor, right?
Yes, we've talked about that. Yeah,
it's like if you manage to get in one of those things, they only have so many bikes and stuff for the people competing. So you
could steal someone's spot.
But I think even the other competitors at a certain point would be like, why doesn't that guy have a number on his chest?
Yeah. Or you're on the bike and then you're swimming and you're just exhausted. You're like, I don't want to be doing this. I didn't mean to do this.
Yeah.
Someone in an Ironman competition by duress, just like on a bike. Like I didn't want to. I have places to be.
I mean,
I can't
honestly,
do this right now.
When you start reading the story, I thought that he was going to compete out of pressure because the people in the beginning thought he was part of it, so then he just stayed in it.
No, Daniel sounds too nice. He sounds. Here's the thing, Daniel. From this story, it sounds like you're polite and very sure of yourself. So you're like, I'll just get out of here. I'm not gonna let the pressures of the race control me. So you sound mentally healthy, but I would have loved it if you were just like, yeah. Then I ran in there and I got a medal.
I got a medal. I think some guy drowned.
We're at an hour. We could probably wrap it up.
Okay. Can you? Let me see. There's one.
Did you want to do one more?
Maybe one more. All right. Well, this one is titled Strife, and it is from our friend Ben. Hello, Josh and Logan. Logan, how do you feel when Josh responds to your story with, "That's so funny," and immediately moves on to a new topic? Do you think he actually thinks what you said was funny? Also, I wanted to share a couple of stories from high school. Every day while driving,
didn't even let me answer. Just moved right on.
Oh yeah.
That's how little he cares about what I think.
Do you think that I think that you're being funny when I say that's funny?
I do know that's how you react to things that are funny.
Yeah.
But from the outside, just hearing into the podcast, it probably does sound like you don't care. But knowing you personally, I know that is how you react to something you genuinely find funny.
Yeah.
It's how a lot of comics. It's actually like if something is really, really funny to me, that I usually just go like, "Wow, that's really funny."
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't laugh. I kind of just appreciate how funny it is.
Do you? Yeah, I do the same thing. I will laugh. You know what happens? And I've realized this week.
What?
I laugh really hard the third time if I'm watching a clip. Like so like if I see a clip on Twitter or something, the first time I don't laugh at all. I'm just kind of like, oh, that's funny. And then there's a part of me that's like, let me watch it again. And then the second or third time is when I have the laugh that I should have had that normal people would have the first time.
Yeah.
So the first time I see it, because so much of Twitter, even with clips, is like within a joke. So I'm thinking about the joke while I'm watching the video. So I'm not really enjoying the video. But then when I'm like getting the video again, then I'm like, okay, now I know what the punchline is, so I don't have to look for anything, and I can just enjoy it.
Because sometimes, like, I don't know if you mean it this way, but it's like sometimes I'm just trying to like reverse engineer like what they've done, like as a stand-up.
Yeah,
like,
I'm just trying to make sense of what
process of it.
They've done. Yeah.
Yeah, and especially if it's like really funny and unexpected, it makes me kind of go like, "Whoa, okay, how did they plant the seeds for that payoff?" And it's like I'm more putting the puzzle together as the process instead of just enjoying it.
Yeah,
sometimes.
which does end up being distracting from the joke and stuff.
So just know when Josh says that's so funny. I mean, sometimes he's probably not paying attention, but a lot of times it means he enjoys it. Hello?
Yeah.
Were you going to finish the email?
Yeah. I was waiting for you to be done.
I was done talking for so long, and you just stared ahead.
No, I was waiting just in case. All right, you're a fool. You're a fool. You're an actual fool.
That's so funny.
It's crazy. You would have done great in medieval England because you are a fool.
Finish the email.
You're a fool. Okay. Every day when driving to high school, I would eat an apple. While I was walking into the building, I would throw my apple core into another student's truck bed. I did this for at least 3 months. One day, he finally caught me and asked me what the fuck I was doing. I just shrugged my shoulders and kept walking. I'm still not sure why he didn't kick my ass.
Wow. Baller move.
My senior year of high school, I drove a blue Ford Windstar minivan to school. Another kid who was more popular than me had the exact same van. At the end of the year, the popular girls at the school would go out in the parking lot and write things on the windows of other seniors' cars. They mistook his van for my van, so I walked out of school to see "We love you, Eric" written on the windows of my van. My name is Ben. I drove the van around all summer with that on the window, and my friends constantly roasted me. I love the show, but people act like you guys won a Nobel Peace Prize when they comment the show during the mailbag section. So I'll just say, good job. Thanks, Ben.
That email's a real criticism sandwich.
Yeah, it's like, look, like Ben has the demeanor of somebody that's definitely trying to smash, because it's like, I love the show, but people act like y'all want a Nobel Peace Prize or something.
Yeah.
But good job.
Yeah. I like the show. You're not all that. Also, Josh has this weird reaction. No, I mean, Ben has the energy of a man who throws apple cores into someone's truck for 3 months.
And also doesn't know why he does.
Just does it. Ben is a man to be respected and feared. I'll say that.
Wow. Wow. That's incredible.
That's so funny.
That is funny. Thank you so much for listening to the Josh Johnson Show. I hope you had a great time listening. We had a great time recording. So if you are looking to catch up with us on any of the socials, you can find me at Josh Johnson Comedy on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. We're going to be posting clips of the show. And if you're looking for Logan,
you can follow me on Instagram at Logan M. Nielsen. And if you want to get into the mailbag, you can send us an email, joshjohnsonshow@gmail.com. We read them at the end of every episode, and sometimes we do these big, long ones. We also read reviews on Apple Podcasts. If you leave us a 5-star review and leave us you actually have to write a review. We can't see the 5-star just ratings, but if you leave us a 5-star review, we like to read those sometimes too, and it helps us on that platform. And if you want more of us, we got bonus stuff over on Patreon, patreon.com/Josh Johnson Show. We've got bonus shows we do there where we debate stuff, where I, prove how big of a fool Josh is.
You're a fool.
You're a fool.
Remember that.
You can also get full replays to live shows we've done. We just did our last virtual live show of 2022. It was very fun. I think this one was genuinely unhinged. So I'm I'm excited and concerned to see what happens in 2023 at the virtual live show, because it was a dark holiday episode. I will say that. And then we're gonna be on the road in January. Josh kicks off his freshman tour, is what he's calling it, and I'm on a couple of the shows at the start of the year. So all that stuff and all the links down below and all that jazz. Come see us.
Yeah, and have a great rest of the week, into the weekend, into the holiday.
Bye-bye.
Fool.
You're a fucking fool.
Fool.
You're a fool.
Fool. Let's see. Let me turn off the recording.
Stop
Fool.
recording right now, too, you big dumb fool.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. It really supports the channel. Hit the bell notification, because apparently it's the only way YouTube will tell you that something happened. And just tell a friend. That's the biggest thing you could do. Just tell one person in your life that you like, maybe you don't like, that this video happened to you.
We release the podcast every Thursday on all the podcast apps, so you should find us there and subscribe on those and comment and leave reviews and whatever on all of them. And also, if you want bonus stuff, you can join our Patreon, patreon.com/Josh Johnson Show. We have bonus podcasts and videos and stuff there, and we'd love to see you.
Give it up for Josh Johnson.
I've been loving getting to watch in real time the indictment of New York Mayor Eric Adams. This dude sucks so much. It's so bad. This dude sucks. I don't know who your mayor is, but be glad it's not Eric Adams. This dude is the worst. He's so corrupt. And it's like corruption. This is what's disappointing about Eric Adams' corruption, is that it's like petty. Do you know what I mean? We expect politics to be corrupt. It says a lot that we do, but a part of us, you know what I mean? And what does that say about us to a certain degree? I think about that a lot. What does that say about our expectations, that we expect corruption? You know what I mean? At lots of levels. You know, city councilman did this thing, president did this thing, whatever it is, we expect it. And then when people run, we don't really believe in them. Maybe if someone can make us believe in them along the way, that's the person that we vote for, because we're like, wow, this person's different. But different from what? The expectation is corruption, you know? And he's corrupt in a way that's truly disappointing. It's a shame. It's embarrassing how easy a politician is to buy. You could lease a new Subaru, or you could buy a politician depending on the position of the state. The things these people go down for, we're talking not money if we're talking politics, right? Like if I was a senator and I wanted to be corrupt, you'd have to get me good. You have to take care of me, because I might lose my job. I might go to jail. I need a nest egg to protect me. You know, something to look forward to while I'm in jail doing all that time for doing you a favor and being corrupt. Like, that's why I don't agree with it, and I'm glad he's going down for it. But Menendez makes sense. He took gold bars. That's cartoonish corruption. That is like full on 1950s cartoon corruption. That is New Yorker political cartoon corruption. To just take actual gold bars. Where do you get gold bars from? And then take the gold bars to do the favor for the person. This is what's funny about Eric Adams being indicted is that New York City is, and this is coming from someone who lives there, and I do love it in New York, right? But New York is a dirty place, all right? Inside and out, okay? It's one of the more corrupt places. So to be the first mayor to ever be indicted with corruption charges in New York City, you gotta be one of the dumbest people who has ever lived. It's a city of corruption and you got caught. That's crazy. Sometimes I can't believe it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure he could believe it. He was like, y'all, this is what we do. How y'all gonna get mad now? I did the regular amount of corruption. I didn't even go overboard. I got some flights upgraded. Why would y'all? No, it is that dumb. This dude, Eric Adams' corruption is so petty. This dude about to go to jail because he let Turkey upgrade some flights for him. He basically is gonna go to jail for what is Delta Gold Medallion. Like, it's just... It's very petty. Some nice meals, some flights. That's great. That our mayor, New York's mayor, all it took to buy him was just treat him like a bad bitch for a night. Like, it's... Do you know how embarrassing that is? Do you know how much money is in New York? I need at least 6 skyscrapers to be as corrupt as Eric Adams. I'd be like, take care of me. No, I need land. What are you talking about, a flight? A flight where I might fall asleep and miss my corruption? No. Because sometimes you get upgraded by your airline, you get all excited, you like, oh, I'm sitting in, got the extra leg room and everything. I can kick for no reason and stuff. And then you wake up at the destination and you're like, dang, I didn't even enjoy the free glass of champagne and orange juice. That's his level of corruption. It's so dumb. He sucks. But Eric Adams started as a cop, right? And I actually watched this video of him. It was a very entertaining watch. Basically, when he was a cop, he did a video. Maybe he was still a cop. I don't know. Maybe it retired. But anyway, he used his police expertise to make the video. And it's basically a video where he shows parents how to search their children's rooms for drugs and guns, right? And the thing that's amazing about it is that clearly one of two things happened. Either Eric Adams told whoever was shooting the video to just go fill a room full of crack, or Eric Adams kept using the same 6 crack rocks in between takes. Because he was pulling crack out of places that didn't really make any sense. Like those... When you have crack, the intention is to smoke it or sell it. And where he was pulling, because then, first of all, the room didn't make sense. Because the room is supposed to be a child's room, right? But the room has stuff for a kid that's about to head off to college or somebody in preschool. Like, there's just too much going on in the room. The room makes sense if you were never going to leave that room for 26 years. Like, it doesn't... The room did not make sense at all. So then Eric Adams would do weird stuff, like he'd be like, looks like a regular tricycle, right? But if you pop this tire right quick, You pop this tire, pull it out. What do we find? Crack cocaine. It was incredible. Like, looks like a regular doll, huh? But if you stab it in the back and rip it open, what do we find? Crack cocaine. And honestly, like, look, I even get the spirit behind what he's doing. But if your child is on crack, there will be other signs. Besides a heavy tricycle wheel. I've never seen a kid on a bike with a flat tire and been like, we're losing the youth. It's insane. This dude is over here going, a simple jewelry box. But if we open it, what do we find? A loaded gun. A pillow? You gave your child a pillow? And thought that they weren't gonna do the worst with it? You reach in that pillowcase, what do you find? A Glock. My favorite was standing near a bookcase. And he didn't say these words exactly, but the feeling that I got when I was watching him was just, you think your child reads? You think your little baby boy, baby girl reading in here? No. They're a child, and we all know children are what? Crackheads. You open this book, and what do you find? What spills out? Crack cocaine. No. It was incredible. It was truly, the only thing he did do was pull crack out of the gun. Like, and I can't stress this enough. Eric Adams is like terrible. He really is. Like, he really is. He's the worst. It's so bad. He sucks. He sucks so much. You should be so glad he's not your mayor. Like, that's... Oh, man. I'll be honest with you. I didn't do the research. I don't know who your mayor is. I just know it's not Eric Adams. So you got 2 legs up on New York City. This dude, first of all, when he was running, he was corrupt. The dude was running. And he was already doing stuff where we were like, if it's not illegal, it's weird. This dude told the story of, because, he's a cop, and he reminds everybody all the time they used to be a cop, right? And it depends, because he does a thing that's real sneaky. He's really good at it, right? Where he was a black cop. So in some rooms, he's black. In some rooms, I used to be a cop. And never the 2 rooms shall meet. If like... It's crazy. Okay, so this dude, when he was running, would tell the story of a fallen officer, right? His friend that he loved dearly, who died in the line of duty, and he loved his friend so much that he keeps a picture of him in his wallet with him all the time, right? And it's a heartwarming story because no matter your feelings on cops, no matter your feelings on like the criminal justice system, I think everyone can understand what it's like to lose a friend, right? You can understand what it's like to lose, especially when you lose a friend when you're both in danger. Maybe you both were in the military together. Maybe you're both cops. Maybe you served in some way and then you lost your friend. And no one's going to know what that was like except for people who it also happened to, right? And he kept the picture in his wallet. Except the picture in his wallet that he showed people was printed out by his staff members, and they threw a little coffee on it to make it look old. And that's before he did anything illegal. This dude is the devil. Like, he really sucks. This dude, I don't even know how he won. He doesn't live in New York. You know how usually you have to live where you're the mayor of? I'm not going to make any assumptions about your mayor, but I'm assuming they live here. I imagine your mayor doesn't actually live in Illinois. That would be weird, right? To come over and be like, hey, I'm here with y'all. We're in this together. I'ma go, though. Dude lived in Jersey. And then it got outed that he lived in Jersey. And so at the last second, he had the New York Times try to help him cover it. And they did a profile of him at his house in Brooklyn that he was clearly walking into for the first time. It's like... This dude walked in. You could tell he had never been in there before. He over here like, and as you can see, my wall. If you don't have one, you gotta get one. All right, these walls are fire. This dude walked in, and clearly, whatever staff was trying to help him look like he lived there, I feel like they tried to like Ocean's 11 it and like did it a little too late because they were clearly moving stuff into the place to make it look furnished. But then he probably called them and told like, hey, I'm on the way now. Y'all got to get out because the apartment did not make sense. You walk in and in the living room is the bed. That's an intern who had to drop the bed like as they, what? And then, you know, they go, he opens the fridge because he really tried to do this MTV Cribs for the New York Times, right? And so then he opens the fridge and he's like, blat out my snacks, right? And there is way too much meat for Adams to be a vegan. There's so much meat. It looked like it was stocked by Hillshire Farms. There's way too much meat in there. Not even mistakable meat. Not even like, oh, I thought the Impossible Burger. Like, it was full-on meat. And when they ask him about it, he's like, oh, my son be sneaking in, you know what I mean? You know, because you know how when you have kids, you know, as parents, you know how when you have kids, they sneak into your home and leave food, you know what I mean? In the fridge uneaten. You know how children are. All they do is leave food in the fridge and smoke crack. That's what children do. This dude is the worst. This man brought back stop and frisk. If you don't know what stop and frisk is, it was practice in New York where basically the police could stop you at any time and frisk you, check you for drugs and weapons and stuff like that. It was very popular under like Giuliani and stuff, but it was like found to be pretty disproportionate because they would just stay in one place and check everybody there. You know? So it was just black and brown people. It was mostly black and Hispanic people that were like stopped and frisked. And it didn't even really work because the people with guns and drugs were like, I'll stay home. You know, they found when they did studies on it that, you know, more often than not, it was men, over 9% men. So it's like 99.3% men of the stop and frisk. And then also in the 90s were black and brown people. So it was like, I think like 5% white, right? Which is just go all over New York. You're allowed to stop and frisk. Just stop and frisk everywhere. Just do the Upper West Side. Do you know what I mean? Just be like, hey, what's in the briefcase though? That could be full of anything. But they didn't, so it was found to be like an unconstitutional practice. It was found unconstitutional in 2013, and the New York police like disbanded it fully in 2020, and then Eric Adams brought it back. Which is odd, because this is my thing about Eric Adams, and what I mean about that chameleon move that he does is that Eric Adams, I don't even know the exact particulars of the story. All I know is that he was arrested when he was a kid. Some people say he was a member of a gang himself, right? And that he, got beat up by the police. He tells this story of being a victim of police brutality at like 14, 15. Him and his friend got caught. They had done two things. I think they had stolen some checks or something, and they stole something else, and it was when they were trying to cash the stolen check they got caught, and basically they got beat up at the police station. And apparently the way that I believe Eric tells it is that these white cops were beating him and his friend up, and then a black cop came in and told him to stop. And he was like, and that was the moment I decided that I wanted to be a police officer, turn my life around, everything, because I just saw the way that black cop moved, right? He's like, I saw the power, the respect. I saw the fear that people had, you know, and I was like, that, oh, okay. It's a weird thing to pull from that lesson, but all right. We're all our own people. And so it's weird to me that he's so adamant about being punitive as someone who grew up the way that he grew up. It's very odd that he doesn't see himself in any of the youth that he wants to arrest or wants to punish. Like that's even only part of why he sucks. Like, he sucks. This dude sucks so much. He's the worst. They opened the investigation into Eric Adams the way that the feds do, which is quietly. You know what I mean? The thing that's scary about the feds is that they always get you. Their conviction rate is in the 90s. So it's basically done. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, when they show up, it's only a matter of time, right? And the feds opened an investigation into them, and this is like a year ago, that they came through and they were like, hey, we're gonna need everybody's cell phone. Your whole team, right? Which is already not great. Probably every mean thing I've ever said is on my cell phone. Do you know what I mean? Like, I try to be a good person, but if you pull up on me and you snatch my cell phone, you're gonna be like, oh, you an asshole, okay. The cell phone feels safe. You know, and the feds roll up and, you know, take his laptop, his cell phone, everything. And this is how you know, this is how a guilty dude moves, right? So he goes ahead and gets swooped on when the feds come and get everybody's cell phone. And he's like, oh, actually, my cell phone, I don't have it on me, right? I don't have it. And they were like, okay, we'll bring it first thing tomorrow. And he brings it. Next day, brings it, right? And then he's like, actually, I had changed my password to keep my aides out of my phone, because you know how aides are, always trying to face ID you and see what your business is and everything, even though you email them personally and stuff. But like, try to keep my aides out of my phone. So went ahead and I'm giving it to you now, but just know that I had to change the password, keep my aides out of my phone, and I just forgot it. this dude moves like a man who cheats. Like, that's crazy. And the feds basically had so much on them that they were like, oh, we don't need your phone. Because we have every other phone that you text. Ooh. There's even instances of Adam's aides knowing things were illegal and then being like, y'all, this is illegal. They said it in the text, but y'all, this is illegal. I don't think he'll want to do it. And then you know that text bubble? He'd be like, hey, this is illegal. I don't know if he'll want to do it. And then the person from Turkey or wherever would be like, are you sure? And then the text bubble. That bubble be cooking, right? That bubble be bubbling up, right? And then it go away for a second. And then it come back and be like, never mind, he's down. The amount of times that his aide said to other people, this is illegal. And then several texts later be like, so when are we? It was incredible, man. It's really fascinating. And then there was like, I think it was like one of his campaign aides, one of the people that worked under him, was being interrogated. And as soon as she realized the interrogation wasn't friendly, she was like, can I go to the bathroom real quick? And so they were like, yeah, sure. And then she went to the bathroom and apparently started mass deleting as many text messages as she could. But then she was in there so long that the fans were like, she deleted text messages. Like, nobody got a boo-boo that bad. Like, I mean, who knows? Maybe she is shitting herself, but not. I can just imagine you realize your boss about to go to jail, you might go to jail too, and now you in the bathroom just, I'll be right out. Oh, it's bad. Oh no. Y'all still there? I can't stress this enough. This dude sucks. Like, it's like, okay. Maybe one of the funniest things about the whole case is that we don't definitively know one way or the other, but there's a chance that this dude would, like, the last straw that broke everything, that had the roof come tumbling down, that kicked over his house of cards, might have been, maybe, Sabrina Carpenter. Inadvertently. I don't know if you remember, but Sabrina Carpenter did a music video for a song called Feather, right? And in that music video, she's in a church, right? And she got permission to be in that church. As controversial as everything was, and as much as the archdiocese freaked out after they saw the video and as upset as people were, she got permission, right? She did the right thing, and she asked, can I do my video here? She didn't just run in and be like, quick. She did everything by the book, right? And the person that allowed her was a Monsignor, right? This Monsignor gave permission to shoot in the church and everything. And then when the video comes out, obviously the archdiocese is all upset and stuff. They're like, nothing provocative or sexual should be in a church. That's what they said. Don't get weird with me. And so then they demoted the Monsignor. That's how mad they were, you know? They didn't fire him because I guess it's impossible to get fired at a church. You know, anybody else, any other job, they would have been like, you gotta go. But Catholic Church, they're like, no, we'll move you. Don't worry. And basically, one of the things that came from that whole thing, especially how public it was the feds subpoenaed the archdiocese over the Monsignor because he had connections, like as in a relationship or maybe even a business relationship with Eric Adams' chief of staff, right? And so they were like looking into it, and then Sabrina Carpenter's moved on. She just sort of like, oh, I didn't realize it. Whoops. And I don't know. I think that people don't realize how much trouble Eric Adams is in because this isn't like a police thing. This isn't like a local police or something. Like local police could run cover for a mayor. And so Eric Adams gets indicted, right? Present day, he gets indicted, and this dude holds a press conference. It's one of the worst press conferences I've ever watched in my entire life. This is incredible. People talk about Giuliani and everything when he did that 4 seasons press conference and stuff like that. Not gonna lie, this one put that one to shame, okay? This one was really, but first of all, they decided to do it outside. I don't really know why, but maybe he's not allowed in buildings. I have no idea, but they decided to do it outside, and they had a tent up because it was raining. But Eric Adams had, and he does this a lot. He does this in a way, this is one of the reasons I can't stand Eric Adams. This is one of the things that makes him suck, right? Is that whenever he's in trouble, whenever he needs something, he's very, very black. You know, and so now that he's in trouble, he has gathered around him every black person that will stand next to him, I suppose. And so he had everybody. He had so many people that they couldn't all fit under the tent. So now there are some people getting rained on halfway, just trying to lean in and everything. Do the one-sided thing. And the press conference starts, and there's protesters at the press conference. And, you know, Adams did some weird stuff. Like when he got indicted, he did like a message to New Yorkers and everything. And in the message, he says, like, I knew as soon as I stood up for New York, I would become a target. And then we were like, when did you stand up and who is targeting you? Like, this is odd. I've heard this language before, but I've never seen it make less sense since the last time I heard it. You know? And finally, you know, he goes ahead, he's doing press conference and stuff, and there's protesters there. And the protesters are screaming at him. They're like, you're an embarrassment. Don't try to act black now. You brought back stop and frisk. You brought back every policy that came down hard on the black community, but now you want to be black because you're in trouble and you want us to back you up and everything. And they're yelling. And the whole time, Eric Adams like, You ever been at a restaurant and there's a couple trying not to fight? And then finally, one of them can't take it anymore, and she stands up and she's like, you cheating bastard, or whatever. And then he's like, It was that. And so he just stands like, okay. And then he lets people speak for him, right? So his pastor speaks, and his other pastor speaks, and I think another pastor speaks. You go to extra church when you're in trouble, right? So then pastor after pastor after pastor are speaking, right? And all the pastors are like, hey, listen, we don't even know. Everybody has to have their day in court. Like, no one is actually professing this dude's innocence. Everybody's like, yeah, you can't judge lest ye be judged. And once again, remember, I told you it's one of the worst press conferences I've ever seen, because not only can not everybody fit under the tent, and not only are the people not making a convincing argument for Adams to be innocent, which is what we would very much like our elected official to be, right? This one lady gets up there, and she's been the loudest against the other protests. She's like, shut up, let him speak, blah, 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 right? And so it's her turn to speak. And then she gets up there, and she's like, good morning, New York! Like, she's just trying to shout everybody down. She's like, I've known Eric Adams for 40 years! And she's just screaming, right? And he is completely... And then the mic starts going out. Completely... you. And then the dude went up there, and I don't really know what his position was. I don't know. He might have just been a black dude Eric Adams pulled that day, because this guy gets up there and he goes, good morning, New York. Good morning, New York. I've known Eric Adams for years, and he is, for 64 years, he has loved and served New York, and we cannot throw away 64 years over 5 indictments. He is 64. And I was like, where's the logic going here? You want that dude to be innocent because he's 64? Like, is that? There's no way he served 64. He just is alive for 64 years. But this dude was slick with it. He was like, do not throw away 64 years over 5 indictments. Nobody gonna kill him. Like, what are you talking about? Throwing away 64, we're not dating him. He got indicted. Do not throw away 64 years over 5 indictments. He is 64, thank you. I feel like that's the only dude that Eric Adams was like, probably should let that be a tweet. And then it's Eric Adams' turn, right? And then counter-protesters are yelling. They're like, you're an embarrassment. You're an embarrassment to black people. You are an absolute embarrassment to the city, okay? You trying to make it a black thing. It's not a black thing. It's a you thing. You're corrupt. You're corrupt by yourself. It's not a black thing. It's a you thing, right? This dude's screaming. And he's like, what? Why is anything you're saying different from Trump? You talking about you stand in the way. Stand in the way of what? You corrupt by yourself, right? And then Eric Adams like, and then he starts taking questions, right? And some of the questions were, you said that as soon as you stood up for New Yorkers, you would become a target. Who do you think you're a target of? Like Homeland Security, or what? There are government bodies that are serving you this indictment. Who do you think is targeting you, and why? And then he was like, that's a question for the federal government. And I was like, okay, not a great start. And then he goes, let me just get something clear right now. All right? And then the mic cuts out completely. It's like, I just want to say to y'all, that's all I gotta say. This is incredible, Incredible. I don't know. I would love to see Eric Adams go to Rikers. I mean, particularly because of the terrible job he's done with Rikers. Just so you know, Rikers is a horrific place. It's been compared to Guantanamo Bay. Mainly because most of the people in Rikers, around 85%, have not been convicted of a crime. They just cannot afford to get off Rikers. They can't afford to pay bail and stuff like that. But they sit there until the trial, and the trial is sometimes 8 months away, 9 months away. So they're potentially innocent people just sitting there, rotting in a jail in terrible conditions because they just didn't have money. Any one of us could not have money. Most of us don't have enough money for the things we would like. So that's how close we are to being them. And it's so bad that there's a federal monitor that's like over Rikers. And Eric Adams has worked with Rikers to subvert everything that would have them comply with the federal monitor, right? It's horrific. And all they've really done is like try to throw money and staffing at the problem, but then money and staffing have become the problem because now Rikers is such a cushy job that there are a lot of people who don't show up for work. So now they really are wasting money because they'll be understaffed on a day where everyone is scheduled and then everyone calls in sick. And then people die at Rikers. People die every year at Rikers. You know? It's absolutely insane. And the staffing, if I'm correct, maybe I'm wrong, right? But last time I looked it up, the staffing was like 2-to-1. No jail has 2-to-1. No jail anywhere has 2-to-1, you know? And so what a poetic thing it would be, you know, for the guy that a year ago gave the key to the city to Diddy. To also be like indicted and charged and sitting in Rikers. It'd be dope to see Eric Adams at Rikers. They just, he gets there and they're like, "What's up, buddy?" "Let's talk." Oh. And so many people have resigned too. So many people have resigned from Eric Adams' administration that I don't know who works at New York anymore. It's a lot of people. People nobody was talking to, by the way. Like people who just are like, I'm just in charge of the library, but I'm gonna go because the block is hot. I don't want these problems.
Mira,